On this episode of Metal Gear Resurrections, it is a special Thanksgiving episode. I'm joined with Retro Gaming Nerd, and this episode was 6 months in the making. We got to talk about Metal Gear series in general, and basically our top list from the series. Hope you enjoy it, and as always, our intro and outros by Fingers. I'll just edit whatever we need to be edited out and all that stuff. I just hit record because I've forgotten in the past.
Oh, yeah, I've done it before.
So, and I'm like, oh crap, we were speaking for like an hour, and I have nothing.
Yeah, I did the whole stream muted.
Oh no.
So I feel the pain.
What would you like me to call you? Retro Gaming Nerd?
Yeah, retro's fun.
Retro? Okay. All right, so I'm finally joined by Retro on the Metal Gear Resurrection podcast, and it's been a thing we're trying to finally get to talk to each other, I would say.
Yeah, about 6 months. Finally happening.
I mean, it's all good. I mean, I don't expect. That's why I'll ask people, what's their schedule. It's always on the guest schedule. Like, I'm flexible. I can do this whenever.
All right, it's much appreciated.
No problem. And yeah, so to get started, like, let's do like a quick introduction about yourself.
Well, I am the retro gaming nerd, one of a kind, if you will. Let's see, I'm 36. I've been playing games since I was 4 years old. Like most people my age, my first game was Mario Brothers for the Nintendo. My dad started playing it, so I played it with him. And then from then on, any chance I got that involved a video game, and it became my number one hobby in life. Just everything about a video game stands out to me, be it the storylines, the graphics. It was just a great way to escape some of the bullshit going on in the real world, if you will. And each video game had a different story, and it's like reading a book, watching that come to life. And then I was introduced to, of all things, Metal Gear Solid. And then no other game ever mattered after that.
I was gonna say to swing to that topic. How did you come across the series?
So way back in the 90s, if people can remember that far back, if you went to Pizza Hut, you would get a demo disc, and I got one time, but I didn't own a PlayStation or anything. So all I had was this disc. Metal Gear Solid was on it. And then at school, my friends would have PlayStation Magazine, Game Pro, stuff like that. And I remember seeing Vulcan Raven, Liquid Snake, everybody on the cover. And I'm like, I have to play this game. It's like nothing I've never seen before in a video game. Well, my brother-in-law would have these big fish fries, and that was a place I'd go to play games. Like he had everything. If it came out, he bought it. So I took my demo disc with me, and everyone's outside enjoying stuff. And I was like, hey, can I go play PlayStation for a few minutes? And he's like, yeah, it's fine. So I'll boot up Metal Gear Solid. And right off the bat, I'm like, is this a video game or am I watching a movie? Or, the opening and everything. It had credits, had music, people were talking, like there's voice acting and everything. And I was like, this is insane. So it gets started, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna run through the docks. And then I hear someone go, what's that? And I'm like, hold up. You mean these guys can tell where I'm at? And then they saw my footprints. And I'm like, what the hell am I playing right now? Like this is not your Mario. This is not like your Metroid. This is like something totally different. And I remember the first time I used a codec, and it was Colonel Campbell, and it had like the frequency number, and my brother-in-law's sister was sitting next to me watching it. I was like, yeah, get a piece of paper. We got to write these numbers down. So if we have to call someone, we need to know what it is. So like we're all in, and I get to the end of the demo, and now I'm pissed. It's only like 15 minutes. And then if you're really good, it takes like 5 minutes or whatever. So for like another year, I wasn't able to play the actual game because my brother-in-law wasn't into that type of games. And none of my friends, I could go to their house and play it. Then my cousin asked me if I wanted to come stay night with him one night. And he was the type of guy, like the Sega game system came out, he would buy it. So I went over to his house. He had a Sega Saturn, Sega CD, PlayStation, freaking Nintendo 64, like everything. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey, have you played Metal Gear Solid?" And I'm like, "No, can I?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So he had this little room off to the side. It was just for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Here's some Mountain Dew, here's some snacks, play all night if you want." And I will admit, the first time I played through Metal Gear Solid, I had a Game Shark.
Okay.
He had it, and I just wanted to enjoy the game. So I turned on like infinite health and everything. And I literally sat there the entire night until I beat the game all the way through. And the one bad experience I had was when you have to switch discs.
Mm.
I'd never seen that before,
Yeah.
didn't know how it worked. So I turned off the power to
Mm-hmm.
switch discs. I never saved because I had infinite life, infinite
Mm-hmm.
ammo. Like, why do you need to save? So I'd start all over again. But yeah, in one night, I completed Metal Gear Solid. And I think over the weekend of being there, I played through it like 4 different times. I just literally could not get enough of it. Like, even for its time, the graphics were amazing, the soundtrack, boss fights, the dialogue, the twist ending, all that. It was just like, who can make a game like this? It's insane. It's like watching a movie for 2 hours or whatever. And then later on, obviously, Kojima went all out. Games took 15 hours to beat because 14 hours were cutscenes
Mm-hmm.
and one hour was actual gameplay. But that was my deep dive into my first ever experience with the Metal Gear Solid series.
And that's when like the hooks were digged into you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they've been there ever since.
I mean, I would say out of all of them, and even like the ones where like people don't consider like canon or anything like that. Which one is like your favorite, or if you want to throw a list out there?
Well, if people that know me would know that Metal Gear Solid 3 Stankier
Mhm.
is not only my favorite Metal Gear game, it's my favorite game of any list at any given time that never leaves the top spot.
And
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Uh,
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say like it's like a mixed bag. Like people I talk with, it's either two or three, and I can understand for three because especially that's like it's a prequel. It's the beginning. It's showing you the story of how Big Boss came to be. You know, and,
right.
and it's also like bringing you to a time where it's like it's the timeline fits. It's very Bond-esque, the game itself. And I would say for out of all the games, for my end, that was actually the most difficult game for me to play out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say because you have no radar, you pretty much have to like do everything with your eyes.
Yeah. So, like, when I played 2, like, obviously, the first thing that stood out was the graphics and everything. It
Yeah.
was such an upgrade from Metal Gear Solid to Metal Gear Solid 2. And like the cutscenes and everything, and obviously the whole Patriots and the AI and all that, it
Hmm.
was insane. And even then, when I played it, I was in high school, so I couldn't wrap my head completely around it.
Yeah.
The how deep Kojima was going with it. But I was like, where do you go from here? Like, this is insanity. Like, everything's going on. So when I started seeing previews and stuff for 3, I was like, why the hell are we in a jungle? Like, well, this makes no sense from what
Hmm.
happened at the end of 2. And then it's like 1960s. And, it was like watching a Bond trailer. I was like, whoa. And then I started seeing like gameplay and everything.
Hmm.
I was like, this is such a 180 or a different route to go. It just stood out so much. I was like, I could basically be like Rambo in the jungle, like hide in the dirt and no one could see me. I'm all about stealth. And to a degree, Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, you could do stealth, but you're also in like these environments where you ain't got a cardboard box or a locker. You're not really hiding. You're just trying to stay out of sight. Metal Gear Solid 3, you had the camo and you could hide in the grass, you can climb a tree. I was like, this is like pure stealth.
Hmm.
And then I love the fact that when you start playing it, like Major Zero even tells you, hey, this is a stealth mission. You can't be seen. I'm like, this is awesome. Even the story is telling me you've got to be stealthy. You've got to hide. You can't kill people. I was like, this is seriously like right up my alley. This is what I've wanted from a stealth game. So right then it just clicked with me.
Mm.
And then to go from playing as Solid Snake, who was like very outspoken, you know, asking a question to a question,
Hmm.
if you will. But he was like very vocal and questioning everything, to go to Big Boss, who's, kind of subtle, but he's like, okay, this is my mission. This is what I have to do. And it was like more raw emotion, the Big Boss, I felt. Because, like, obviously, we can go in depth at another time about what actually happens in Metal Gear Solid 3. But
Hmm.
I think David Hayter did an amazing job of how stressed and confused and like just pissed off Big Boss was going through all the crap that he's going through. Because he's never questioned loyalty, he's never questioned the mission. And then this woman he's looked up to for 20 years, created CQC with, she taught him everything he knows. And on the drop of a dime, she's like, nope, screw it all. I'm over here with these guys now. And during the cutscenes, you can see Big Boss's facial expressions, like he legit doesn't understand what's going on. So for him to have to deal with that, and then with the rest of his team, like paramedic, sick, and all that, like, it sucks. You're gonna have to kill this one. And the entire game, he just questions it. He's like, why? Like, why is this happening? Like, she's my mentor. She's the one that taught me everything. But now you tell me, screw all that. I gotta put her down. Like a rap dog. So that just stood out so much to me about how much more emotion and how much more drama, trauma, and everything Snake or Big Boss went through. It just made it that much more meaningful to me. Yeah, I love Solid Snake, don't get me wrong, but I
Mm.
like how they distinctly are two different people. Just because Solid Snake is a clone of Naked Snake doesn't make them the same person.
Yeah, exactly.
So I tend to gravitate toward Big Boss for the most part because of everything he's went through and his downfall and everything. It just resonated more with me compared to Solid Snake.
Yeah, because like I think even like people like probably fans have asked like Hideo Kojima like, which one is his favorite? Who's his favorite? Like comparing like Solid and Big Boss, and I think he's flat out said to people, like David is just a clone. Real person is Big Boss.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he's the man that like you should be not sort of like gravitating, but like realizing like this person's an actual individual, like with his own ideals, his own mission parameters, and David was just like a byproduct of him. I feel like a fail safe. Like if anything would happen with him, or if he turned against, like they have these clone brothers that like can pit against the father in a way.
Yeah. And I like how, like, through each game that had Big Boss in
Mm.
it, you can Kojima did a good job of, at first he's questioning it, he's
Mm.
confused and upset, and then he's resenting it. He's still pissed off, but he's trying to move on. Then finally, he's like, "No, screw all that. I'm my own person. This is our nation.
Hmm.
This is what I'm going to do." So I think compared to Solid Snake or David, was a very much more well paced
Hmm.
evolution of Naked Boss to where he got to. So people can complain that Metal Gear Solid 5 didn't connect all the dots or whatever. But if you just take the time to look, it actually does a very nice job of leading from Naked Snake, the loyal soldier, don't question the mission, all the way to Big Boss in Zanzibar land of like, now screw all this. Like, I want to go believe in myself from now on and my ideals. Don't care what anyone else to say, because this is how it's going to be for me. And I love that evolution of it. Solid Snake, it's basically just like, I'm no hero, I never
Yeah.
was, I'm, like I said, I'm not dogging on Solid Snake at all. I love him too. I just think Big Boss was much more developed as time went on.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like for everyone that's played the game, like when I first started the game, I played Metal Gear Solid 1. I had no background on the fact that this was like the third game, like to date, like in 1998, that was the third game. And playing it, I had no idea. You would like play the game, see through all the history that David has, like because with Gray Fox and like they mentioned Big Boss in the game. And for like somebody who like played it first, it's like, whoa, like what? Who are these characters? Like we have background, and without knowledge of like playing the original Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, Going forward, it's like you get David for like Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4. But for Big Boss, he's in, we have three. We have Peace Walker, Zero's Phantom Pain, and, Metal Gear 2, and you can count Metal Gear 1 for Venom as well. But
Hey, now don't forget about portable ops.
oh yeah, this part, yeah, I almost forgot.
All
But
that debate.
for David, it's like, he's just the guy that they throw into the situation, like in his iterations, in his games. And then for Big Boss, it's like we get to see, someone who served his country and, sees like the ugliness and the darkness behind it, like people who betrayed not only him, but like his mentor. He had to be pitted against her. And just seeing the ugliness and kind of like wanted to like, say like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it my own way. I'm not gonna like, put people out there for no reason. Like every mission is gonna have a reason. Like every soldier has a purpose.
Because I like in Metal
Mhm.
Gear Solid 5 where you can bring people to your base or whatever
Yeah.
that things like we'll always give a soldier a place to be.
Mm.
Like I can guarantee you, if you come to my mother base, you will have a place to stay, you'll be respected, and we'll send you out on missions. You'll never be a lost cause, you won't be forgotten about, you won't be tossed to the side. If you're here, your
Mm.
family. But I do like on the flip side, because you have to open your mind to all
Mm.
sides of the person or whatever. Look at it, basically brainwashes them into being his philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're a fan, you know Big Boss is not a good person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like he's brainwashed soldiers, he brings in children soldiers, stuff like that. He has Ocelot, torture people, kind of stuff. So I'm saying he's not the person. I just think he's so well developed.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily hate him for what he is. You understand why he is the way he is, which makes him that much better of a character. Once again, that's why I love him so much compared to other characters in the game, because it's just a nice thread throughout the entire series. At any point, you can look at him and understand why he's doing what he's doing and where he's headed. And some of the characters, they're one note, or it's just like one and done. You never hear about him again, kind of thing. I think he's just the most consistent thread all the way through the series.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I should have said like disclaimer, like we're not saying that Big Boss is like a great guy, um, because we obviously see like in the Phantom Pain, like when you take soldiers out of the field and faulting them to your base, there's like a good while where they're like separated from the rest. They're obviously going to go through a re-education to like be a part of like Diamond Dogs, and then you get like a little taste of like the child soldiers, like um Venom, like instead of like killing them, like taking them and like sort of like saying we'll give them a purpose, so, like they could live on the base, and just seeing like Kaz just going against them, saying like I don't really like kids, like why we have these children on base thing.
Because I mean,
Mm.
if you think about it, like Big Boss, he's like, if I can get him from children,
Mm-hmm.
I can train him early, be more loyal to the cause, and have to break down the guy that's been in Russia
Mm-hmm.
for 20 years. If I can build these children up, I know at the end of the day they have my back before anyone else. They won't question me. They won't question the cause. And that probably gives him some kind of comfort,
Yeah.
and he can depend on them in the long run. And like I said, if you go back and play Metal Gear, Metal Gear
Mm-hmm.
2, I love in Metal Gear 2 when you talk to people about how he's a good person because he took them out of like the horrible things they were doing. But once again, the flip side is he took them out of a bad situation, put them into a different bad situation,
Mm-hmm.
but with good reason or good cause. Once again, it's a balance. So if he is a good person, he's doing it for maybe the wrong reasons at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'll probably ask you like, what would be your least favorite of the series?
Least favorite? Not hard because
Mm.
I'm the type of person like when I play a video game, I can find the good in anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't try to hate
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I can have constructive criticism about a game, but at the end of the day, I like all of them. I can understand why people don't like two because of writing. Like obviously, if you read up on the backstory about that in real life, the pretty boy for Japanese gamers.
Hmm.
That's what they look for. That's like the prototype hero, long flowing hair, pretty boy look. But I appreciate the fact that if you understand what Kojima was going for, he wanted you to be a new character to look at the legend that is Solid Snake.
Hmm.
So you can see Solid Snake's personality without being Solid Snake. You're not controlling him, so you get to see how he reacts to things. Oh, he responds to this, like what he's thinking and everything. It's a
Hmm.
cool outside looking in. Never really like writing, but I can understand why people was like up this whole game being Solid Snake. The trailers only showed Solid Snake, and half an hour in, you take him away from us. By the time you get him back, he's old Snake. So you didn't even get to really play a Snake in his prime with amazing graphics and everything. You had naive Snake, Gear Metal Gear 2, to the extent Metal Gear Solid, to watch him be awesome in Metal Gear Solid 2, and the game when he's on his deathbed almost in Metal Gear Solid 4. So I can understand why people would be upset about that. And I enjoy 5. Like, I have to believe that was like the goal Kojima had
Hmm.
since day one. Graphics, the game controls, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's what he was aiming for, and he was finally able to achieve it. The storyline, it must suck David Hayter was taken out. I can only imagine how he felt when he wasn't even told he wasn't playing Snake. An article where he literally saw an article that said Kiefer Sutherland, big boss,
Hmm.
and he had to call Dima and Konami and be like, "Oh, so I'm not Snake anymore." No, we moved on a different direction. Sucks because if I think Snake, I think David Hayter. That just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that part of it makes me not like it as much. But I think in the dialogue and stuff that Kiefer had, he did a good job. It wasn't his fault he didn't come back. Can't be mad at him for it. Or David over Kiefer, yeah, but you can't do anything about it at the end of the day. So don't let that take away from your element of the game. Just didn't like how got away from cutscenes and stuff
Hmm.
so much, and you had to rely on tapes. Because I don't mind listening to tapes, but when I'm trying to do a mission, I don't want tape playing in the background because either I'm doing the mission or I'm listening to the tape. I'm taking all that lore, all that background story. And I can't do that if I got someone shooting at me and I'm trying to sneak around. I had to say I probably dislike Metal Gear Solid 5 the most. And that's a very small dislike,
Hmm.
only because of the way they concentrate on gameplay over story.
Okay. I can see what you mean because for the most part, for Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain, those tapes, I only listen to them when I'm in the helicopter.
Yeah,
Or for Ground Zeroes, I only listen to them where I'm literally just gonna boss like just crouch and just listen to a tape because to play those games, I need like all like the like all my auditory like senses like available.
yeah, exactly. So how you gonna play a stealth game and be
Yeah.
sneaky if you're listening to Kaz talk about hamburgers? You know?
Mhm. Exactly. And I can understand people like say like, well, you have reflex mode where I'm gonna say like, yeah, well, my reflexes aren't as great when it hits like reflex mode. Like for some odd
Right.
reason, I'll be like in mid um at reload, and then all of a sudden like boom, reflex mode kicks in. I'm like, oh shit, like I can shoot this guy. He's gonna alert everyone.
Not to mention with the realism, you actually have to worry about bullet drop and everything.
Hmm.
So you try to line up your shot perfectly, and then it only lasts like 5 or 10 seconds, and then you got the whole base after you, and
Yeah,
all because he's trying to listen to the tape.
exactly.
Now, I can understand why they did it because they're trying to save money for other things
Hmm.
because it was such a big production. For me, the Metal Gear Solid series is all about those amazing over the top cutscenes, the dialogue between characters and stuff, character build.
Hmm.
I just don't think it was there enough in Metal Gear Solid 5 to reach the levels I feel other games did. I wouldn't be lying if I didn't want to see how Fox came to be
Hmm.
Big Boss's right hand man or how he found Sniper Wolf in. I felt like instead of having Quiet like that as your partners, you could have had Gray Fox. had a young sniper wolf. She could have been your sniper, build characters that way. Instead, you take all these characters that are in the lore that people love and everything, you don't even mention them. Looking at this is like Big Boss's Rise to Power and Venom to an extent. But why would you leave out everybody that winds up becoming a part of his group? Falcon Raven, there's no, I mean, Liquid, but he's just a punk ass kid getting in fights. And Psycho Mantis to a degree, but you don't really explain anything about him.
Yeah.
And how he comes to be the way he is eventually. Ocelot, but I felt this Ocelot weird. I didn't feel like he was Ocelot.
Yeah, Ocelot was like very.
It was Troy Breaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say it also, like, for some reason I was thinking of like John Wayne for some odd reason.
Yeah, it was just
Like
weird.
very like pure Western Ocelot. And it was just I didn't not enjoy him, and like when you like the radio to hear his his dialogue every once in a while, like in regards to like weaponry and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it just there was like a lot more that could have been covered that didn't get covered.
Like he downplays things like, oh, I'm not like the torturer Shaska that people say I am. That's like a rumor. And like, no, man, this is where you're supposed to build that up. Like, you don't take shit from anybody. Don't just get out of hand.
Yeah.
Or he's interrogating enemies. You should be able to walk in and see him injecting them with like truth serum or electrifying them or something. I ain't saying go all in 24 style, but build on that character development, because for every other game came up like he's this badass espionage triple agent. And this one, he's teaching soldiers how to shoot straight and not use revolvers with planes on it. Like, what is this?
Because it goes like you said, like he won't kind of steer away from Shalashaska, but like 20 minutes to the game, he's already starting to torture like Huey, and like you keep going further. He's like overseeing the torture of Quiet, and I'm like, well, which is it? You are the torturer, or you're not the torturer?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if they want like
can't be
half
both.
half full, half empty on that glass or whatever. Really, if you look at it, is playing the Ocelot part. Because he's the one doesn't trust anybody. He's questioning everything. He wants to torture people. He wants to like kill Huey for being a traitor, and Ocelot's the voice of reason. Ocelot's never the voice of reason. He goes out of his way to question everything and set things up, and he's just like, nah, it's cool. It's the same always way.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, that's a good point, because you know what? I didn't think about that. Like, it was like a role reversal for those two guys. Because Kaz just wanted to kill everyone. If you brought him to base, like for Quiet, he just said, like, if you bring her back, I'll just kill her myself.
Yeah, he's like, if I get a chance, I'm pulling the trigger. And it's like, oh, how about we just handcuff her and let her take a shower? Like, what? See, it's that kind of stuff that makes me, and like I said, I don't like or not like any game. It can call out certain things that make me not enjoy as much as I could have.
Yeah.
And I look for the positives and everything. It's just those kind of things that stand out because, like I said, at the end of the day, Metal Gear is such a good story building, character driven series. Hitting your peak, this is like your biggest game you can make. You have the most support, the most money. I know there's the background drama, but if you know you're going out, go out with a bang. You know you're on your way out. You know Konami's about to kick you out. You got everything out on the table that I wanted to get out there, because if I'm not coming back, why leave it like it is?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say Kojima didn't do his best. I wish much more character development for the characters that we love.
Yeah, because like now it's like there's still like questions. It's still open ended. Still have characters that we didn't really into it, and after the split and everything, and Kojima doing his own thing with Death Stranding and various other projects, like who are you gonna have to helm this franchise once again? He's gonna want that burden, like to be the guy to replace. That's a heavy thing. Someone.
Yeah, because everyone like, oh, we want Metal Gear Solid to come back and everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but it's like the biggest like baggage to carry
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what you do, it's not gonna like it.
Yeah,
You're gonna get backlash no matter what you do because either you play it too straight
mm-hmm.
and you straight up just redo the same things he did, so he's basically just taking someone else's work, or you make something completely new and like this is not Metal Gear Solid, this is not my Solid Snake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why sometimes I feel like you shouldn't make no more Metal Gear games. You just maybe remake them
Mm-hmm.
and keep most of it in. Like I always say that Resident Evil 1 remake and Resident Evil 2 remake are some of the best remake games I've ever played because it's like they keep the majority of what was there in
Yeah.
and they sprinkle new stuff, but too much where it takes away from what the original was.
Mm-hmm.
Like you add like a little section over here, or you add some extra dialogue over here. Feel Metal Gear should be redone. It's what worked in the original, but you can add a few extra lines of dialogue, extra scene, or something, so you can make it feel new again, but you still cater to the OG fans. Everyone's happy. It irritates me that Konami wanted to take one of their highest selling franchises, anything at all with it. You have to have Kojima to
Yeah.
remake Metal Gear. Basis of what it is, and you can add on what you want and make everybody happy and make a bunch of money at the end of the day. It's just the fallout from the breakup, and they're still salty about it, and they refuse to do anything that might have evolved Kojima at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But man, get over it. Like, like move on, make some money, please the fans, and go out the rest of your business.
Because like they're busy like doing every other like property that they have, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like
Now I will say when
mm,
Turtles came out,
yes.
that was excellent. Like, see, that's taking something old and it feels old school, but you add just enough for Shredder's Revenge. Makes it like the funnest Turtles I played since I was like a little kid. Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Add just enough to make it feel new, but keep it the same enough that please everybody and everyone wins.
And Konami had like a bunch of snafus, like anniversaries, like for Castlevania. They, jumped on bandwagon and like try to do like, oh, we're gonna have like an exclusive NFT. And that like yeah, it met with like such ridicule and like hatred. We're obviously like steered away from then on. And I just want the games to be readily accessible. That'd be great. That'd be great for a start. And they, for the anniversary of Metal Gear that passed in July, like all they did was mention like they're working on it. That's it. Like they didn't set a timeline or anything like that.
Yeah, if they just like put a collection together and make it available to all current systems, like that alone would go the distance for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have access to PlayStation 1s and stuff like that, so they can't play Metal Gear Solid. And then when they took down the HD collection, out on playing Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and sometimes Peace Walker is not included in that collection. You got to buy it separately.
Yeah.
It makes it more of a hassle. I don't know how things work. I don't know how hard it is to get stuff together into one disc, but it can't be that hard in this day and age to take an older game series like that and just make it accessible, like you said.
Yeah.
If people would buy it all over again, you can make a decent amount of money just by, hey, this is updated graphics, 60 FPS, whatever the jumbo is or whatever. I'm not keen to all that kind of information. I just play games. But yeah, just have it available. It'd go a long way in restoring your faith with your fans. And you can move on from there and probably do more with it.
The fans are hungry. There's nothing in
Yeah.
the pipeline. And
Get the fake rumor of a remake.
yeah. Oh God. All those rumors, like it's ridiculous. And how people just clamor to them and just like go like, no, it's really happening. Like stop, hampering down on my butt, man.
Yeah.
It's going down. And I'm like, all right, I'll revisit this like after it melts down.
I won't lie. I get most of my
Yeah.
fun time during the day going to Twitter and just seeing the fallout from someone like this is really happening. I got 3 sources. they all say Metal Gear Solid Remake is being showed
Yeah,
at the Game Awards this year. And I'm like, well, let's wait until the Game Awards and see if it happens. Why you
yeah,
gotta talk about it now?
yeah, exactly. Well, because you know what, a lot of people like want to like ride the hype and like get the clicks, and some people even like okay, and it's like this is the people I don't like, and guys like and like they have like a source,
Right, clickbait
and
and whatnot.
yeah, and like lead people on, and like then like donate to their channels and shit, and it's like, well, you're just taking all these people's money for a lot, like you don't anything.
Yeah, and I love it because I'll once in a great while I'll click a
Mm-hmm.
video just to see what kind of BS they're putting out. And I
Mm-hmm.
love how someone will repeat the same line of dialogue like 6 times.
Yeah.
It's like my sources tell me there's new Metal Gear coming out in December, and when December comes, we'll see if this new Metal Gear comes out. Because as far as I know, Metal Gear will be here on December like 27th. I'm like, you just said the same damn thing 4 times in a 5-minute video, and but no offense, people, but they
Yeah.
were dumb enough to click on it. Now you have 7,000 views,
Mm.
like 500 comments on a bunch of bullshit.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it's got to a point where like I was getting to fight some people and I had to like, end up like muting a bunch of people. I like, all right, I don't got time to being back to me like a 10-to-1 ratio. Like I'm, only saying one thing. You're like coming back at me. You're like nonsense. I'm like muting you guys and I
I,
got better things to do right now.
I gave you an analogy because I know you're a wrestling fan like myself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's when someone comments on a WWE thing and someone's like, AEW's better. I'm like, why are you coming in here doing that? Like it has nothing to do with this.
I know. And that's another thing where it's like we'll go everything on this episode.
Right.
But it's like one of those things, it's like, can we just like all enjoy like for wrestling? Can we all just enjoy like all of like these shows? Like when's the last time you had, a show on TNT, another show on it is now because now I mostly do streaming, USA Network, or like now they moved over to TBS.
Yeah.
Like when's the last time you had that? Like it's been
You
a
have
while.
options. That's supposed to be
Yeah,
a good thing.
exactly.
Like Metal Gear Solid. Like you can hate Metal Gear Solid 5, go play
Hmm.
Metal Gear Solid 3. You can Solid 2, go play Metal Gear Solid 1. And you don't have to sit here all day long and hate on one of them.
Exactly.
Like what I said, like I try to look for the best in everything.
Hmm.
So even if I don't agree with you on something, I will gladly have an open conversation.
Hmm.
I just hate in video games and life in general when people think the only thing to do is talk negative. And if
Hmm.
you try to give an opinion, you're stupid. Like, shut up. It's supposed to work.
That's what I don't. That's what I hate. That's the thing I really hate. Like when people do shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Okay. It's like,
It's even worse when like the person legit says, "What do you think?" Openly asking me for my opinion, and then I give it, and then you're gonna bark back at me because you don't like it. Well, if you want to hear what I have to say, don't ask for my opinion because I'm a very blunt man. I ain't got time for your crap. So
mm, oh man, I'm just glad it's like, you know what it is. It's also getting like where people are like starting to piece things together, and people are getting basically. Um, the guy's name, but I'm pretty sure he was also like this as well. Who was like hyping out fake information, falsers, and I believe he confessed to doing so.
this happened a little
Yeah,
bit ago,
I'm trying
right?
to remember. Like, yeah, and it was like one of those things where it's you just open a door. Like people already had an inkling. Like, all right, this sounds very suspicious because this person is reporting on this information. Very quick time frame.
Yeah, because I remember on Twitter because someone was sharing it. It was like journalist admits to false rumors,
Mm-hmm.
like calls himself out, and I'm like, we should have done to begin with. But
Yeah.
now, like you say, open that door.
Hmm.
Not even legit journalists, honest journalists would be questioned now.
Exactly.
Because it's like, what do we believe? We believe nothing. We believe everything.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, we're like, when did the times come where it's like we actually trusted journalists and journalists had ethics? Like,
Right.
where did that go away? Like, when did like it start splintering?
When
Probably
internet happened.
the internet. Yeah, I was gonna say like probably when that and like clicks to pay for their articles and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like becomes a slippery slope. Then it's like, yeah, you have all these like news outlets, like,
I was about to say CNN versus Fox News.
yeah,
Like CNN's Trump haters and Fox News is all about the far left or whatever, you know?
and it's just once money gets involved, it gets really dirty really quick.
And like I'm the type of person like
Mhm.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, Colin Marinati or you ever heard of Kinda Funny?
Yeah.
He co-founded that, then he left and he made up his own thing or whatever.
Mhm.
But I agreed with what he said. He's like, I purposely go out of my way to watch stuff that I would disagree with because a lot of conversation are like opinion, it's not my own. So he said, he's like, I don't watch Fox News because I agree with most of what they say.
Mhm.
So I will purposely go watch CNN because I know I'm going to disagree. I want to hear from their point of view. The healthiest way to do stuff like that, and it can go back into video games.
Yeah.
You can have a difference of opinion, but I would love to hear someone tell me why Metal Gear is the worst series. You've heard it. If
Yeah.
you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, Kojima's stupid. If he's not held in control, he goes so out of bounds that it just ruins things, and he believes hype too much and all that kind of crap. And I can see it to a degree, but
Yeah.
if you're gonna think that way, let's have a conversation. Let's have a podcast, even,
Yeah.
because that makes for a fun time. But at the end of the day, when you're just like, you suck, you're wrong, I'm right, you
Mhm.
know, like nothing good comes from that. And it just makes everything that much worse.
Yeah, and then it's like a lot of anger.
Yeah.
Just becomes yelling at each other, like we're just gonna yell at each other.
Yeah. And then then by the end of it, you forgot what you started arguing about.
Exactly.
Kind of like how we
Exactly.
roll on the podcast,
But I mean, have you gone outside of like works from other than like Metal Gear? Like have you played like Police Knots or Snatcher or even like the Stranding?
Hey, it's a member
Mm,
because there was like these games I played that look like Snatcher and
mm,
Police Knots, but I'm pretty sure I did play Snatcher back in the day on the computer.
okay.
And I remember watching someone else play Police Knots because that's the one that has Meryl in it, right?
Yes.
And it even has maybe the little robot
Mm-hmm.
Icon has in 4, which I thought was like a cool callback if you knew what that came from. Kind of weird because people say Kojima with his storytelling and stuff, but from our Snatcher and Police Knots, he didn't go too crazy with that stuff.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing that stood out that like why would you do something like that? That would make no sense. I think by the time you got to Metal Gear, these other games wanted to 100%, but you kind of had to the trust to make a bigger game.
Yeah.
So he had to build up his resume. So by the time he got to Metal Gear, he was actually able to do exactly what he set out to do. I
Mm.
don't know if you remember the story because once I want to learn about something, I have a bad habit of going down a million rabbit holes to get every bit of information I can. And Metal Gear,
Mm-hmm.
and he had moved on to other stuff. And on a train ride,
Mm.
work, and he was into a Kojima person, and they talked about how they had made a Metal Gear 2 Snake's Revenge,
Yeah.
and he knew nothing about it. And that's right when he started making up the story for Metal Gear Solid Snake, because it sounds horrible.
Mm.
And I need to get back in here so I can make it good again. It's kind of funny that they just took his creation, basically drove it through the mud. He's like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to get back in here and make this right.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of goes like to his like competitive nature. Like
Right.
thing like I bring things a lot to like sports analogy, and it's like one of those things where it's like that sounds like something that, like you would player, like like I'm not gonna like say anything like specific, but like it would be like if a player A left his team and it come to like someone took over and it became a shit show. This person made and brought up crumbling is just like not what it was. So it's like going back to like to the team brought to glory. And
Right. Yeah. Once you leave, it starts to burn at base. You have to come back to fix it. So now you need me because if I'm not here, this dynasty goes to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. You could probably like make it to like what the Lakers have done like over the years. It's like up championships, there's dynasty runs, and then it goes to hell, like obviously with everybody leaving in free agency, and so it's like you gotta like build it from the ground up again.
Well, it's better from with basketball when Jordan left.
Yeah, there you
to
go.
play baseball, and they didn't think Scottie Pippen could carry the reins. So Jordan comes back in, and they go freaking win 5 more championships, whatever.
I was gonna say that's a way better analogy than what I'm fumbling with. So
it's okay.
That'll be the
we got there together.
Yeah, because I had it in my head. I was thinking to myself, like, what the hell's an example?
Yeah, that would be the best example of any sports is the Jordan analogy.
Yeah, because they were like, there was no confidence with Pippen. They're like, this guy's good, but he is not.
He's not a leader. He can't lead them to glory.
Exactly. Example, and that's like one of the things where like I hear not a lot of. It's like talk about Kojima and his competitiveness. Like you have to be competitive to be the top of your game. In any.
Yeah, I mean, like the Jordan, since we're using that analogy, they had that amazing documentary on Netflix called The Last Dance.
Mm-hmm.
And they even talked about how when Jordan didn't have competition, he would literally make up in his head that someone said about him. So it gave him something to fuel his fire to make perform at the top of his game and stayed on. You can look at Kojima.
Yeah.
And he wanted to give the reins up when he completed Metal Gear Solid 2. And then he's looking at Metal Gear Solid 3 and he's like, hey, you guys are doing good. Like, I could do this justice. So let me come in.
Yeah.
But then eventually I just felt bad for him because once again, people are gonna do stupid things. And they started sending the death threats and stuff like that. And it's like at the end, it's just dumb. It's a video game, people. Like at the end of the day, who cares about a video game? I mean, seriously, like you're literally threatening a man's life who's put 25 plus years in this franchise. And because another director is going to make it suck, you think you have the right to tell that man, hey, I hope you die? Like, what the hell are you doing with yourself right now?
Like the complete opposite. Like, he's a well-known game director, and I would say like even just director, because you don't really hear about other game directors. You don't really see like on all these other games, directed by such and such.
Right.
For his games, directed by Hideo Kojima. I think it's such like, like deeply woven into pop culture. I would like them, and if anyone asked him like, what the hell was going through your mind when you were accused, basically a political figure? And I thought that was insane. And then like I thought those were actual like clickbait articles until I looked in like the actual where they came from. Like no, these are legitimate news sources overseas. And then it started spreading like wildfire.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Because it assassinates somebody.
The former president? President of Japan? Yeah, and then it got into a point where it's like his production company said, put out a tweet, I think less than a day, saying like, we are going to be taking action. Continue spreading this news. Basically, we're going to be looking into it and like suing you as well. It's like anything else came of it afterwards, but
no, I think it was like a one and done, but still.
Yeah, it's well, basically you're like once you start like stating that legal action will be taken. I thought it was really insane. Like the one man who like talked about this, like manipulation of like content and media on the internet to be used against like people, like, was used against him.
Insane what the internet, Twitter and stuff has done to the community in general.
It's like
and one
good.
Yeah, it's just like you go look at Metal Gear Solid 2.
You
can call Kojima crazy and stuff, but that dude was calling his shot back in 2002 and like look where we're at.
Yeah. And it was only going to get perpetually worse.
Yeah.
And like that just baffled me. I was like, holy shit. I was like, you really went out here like and said these things? Like what came from it, first of all?
Yeah.
Before you went on ahead and said, like, sure, we're gonna spread this rumor.
I think the quote is from Jurassic Park,
Mm-hmm.
the original one, when he's like, "I didn't do it. He wasn't thinking about whether or not you should do it,
Mm-hmm.
or something to that effect." That's how I feel like Twitter and everything. Before you post something,
Think about it.
yeah, you're not thinking about whether you should or not. You're thinking about what the
Mm-hmm.
result's going to be or whatever. And I'm like, no one ever stops and thinks before they start to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's an old cliche, but keyboard warriors
Mm-hmm.
around the world these days, because someone gets on Twitter and they'll say what they want, and then they're like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, "Oh, I want to delete my tweet? Well, I just repost it. You want to ban me? I'll make up a new email."
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I like the internet for all the right reasons. I hate it for all the right reasons. Nothing comes of it, man, with today's society.
No, not really. And it's like one of those things where it's like, where it
Or,
does.
if it does.
Where is that? Yeah.
Right.
Trying to think. So I'm gonna probably ask you, like, what's going on with your endeavors?
Well, for a little while, I dropped off everything because I had a lot of stuff going on at home,
Mm.
work and whatnot. And all those things where I hit a peak of where I want to do a bunch of stuff.
Mm.
And then I wake up one day and I'm like, I don't want to do any of it.
Yeah.
It's like peaks and lows. But right, the low to streaming, I said I was done with it because of what Twitch was doing with its revenue and all that.
Mm.
But I'm a big enough name that at the end of the day it's going to cost me thousands of dollars or whatever. So probably shouldn't be concerned about that. So for the last week or so, I've been low key streaming Resident Evil because it's
Mm.
Halloween time. And then over on YouTube, I've been playing through Fallout 3. And at first, I did have commentary, but unfortunately, life happens first. And my neighbors and the environment around me is extremely noisy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to record something when you hear people screaming next door or
Mm-hmm.
revving their trucks or whatever. So fortunately, I had to go no commentary on that. So I'm trying to get all that going. But I just try to take it one day at a time, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Man, I mean, actually looking forward to this. I didn't mean to be hounding you or anything. Or
No,
if,
he did.
like
I
I
mean,
was
I wanted to do it every day. I thought about it.
because I was like, because you know what, I came across you like when I was paneling up, and I started the podcast, and it just I fell flat. I fell flat because I was doing it by myself, and it's like really difficult trying to make something entertaining as you're just yourself without anybody else.
Yeah, talking to a wall, you have to
Mhm.
have a certain set of skills, man.
Exactly. So then I decided, like, you know what? I'm changing it up. I'm changing the format. Like, yes, I'm still going to cover the games. And what I do is I'm going to, like, bring people around me, both internet and local, and sort of like have turned this pod into like an audio journal of everyone that's I've come across or will be coming across. So it doesn't matter, like, I don't really like people like big or anything because like I want to talk to like regular people. I want to talk to people who play these games and like what brought them to the series, what did they enjoy it, and how have the games grown with them. So it's like every episode I talk to somebody, like this is their audio journal of who they are and you know and how they enjoy the series that we've all come to enjoy.
Yeah, because like once again, saying like things about the internet you don't like and do like.
Mhm.
I don't have many friends in real life that I can talk to about video games.
Exactly.
Not on a consistent basis anyway. Like a bunch of my childhood friends live in
Yeah.
Tennessee and I'm up in Ohio, so you can text them and stuff, but you can't have an in-depth conversation. So
Nah.
finding people in Discord and stuff like that, and even now, people that's all about
Mm-hmm.
in a positive way. It's like they're not hating it. They love talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said, "Hey, you want on?" I was like, talk about any Metal Gear for hours, and I will gladly come here as often as you want me to, as long as I have the time to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'll co-host. I'll do anything with you, man. If it's all about Metal Gear, like I could go on for days talking about. So you said you was ways to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I thought about it, I was like, "Ooh, what can we talk about? Where do we start? Like, what kind
Mm-hmm.
of deep dives can we get into?" So I hope this is the first of many recordings that we can do. And like you said, it doesn't have gear either. It can be video games in general. It can
Mm-hmm.
be, movie adaptations since Mario's coming out.
Oh boy. I got
Uh,
something to talk about that damn movie.
Does it involve Chris Pratt?
Yes. Yes, and how like everyone else around the world is getting a way better Mario.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. The first thing I saw on that was
mm,
I can't remember what country it was,
mhm.
but it's like that voice actor actually sounds like Mario.
That's the French one, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
it
like
is
that.
him. I think it is the actual like voice behind the Mario in the video games.
Yeah.
He's doing the French dub. But I mean I would say like I would say not for guests, but like for select guests, I always say like my door is always welcome, and for you retro, my door is always open for you to return and talk about, like you said, could be about Metal Gear, about gaming in general, could be about movies.
Because I have a little bit longer if that's okay. If you
Yeah,
got time. Okay.
no, I'm not like I was gonna say I'm not closing it down. It's like I'm just saying like in general.
We'll go on a little peaceful moment here and then we'll hype it back up. I was thinking to myself while we're talking, I'm like,
Mm,
here's something I never heard anyone do on a podcast
yeah,
when it comes to Metal Gear Solid. So you played the of them, right?
yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't say Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 if you want to do that, but we
Mm,
can go back. You start from like Metal Gear Solid 1
mm.
and pick out number one moment that stands out. Like that game, that moment comes to mind.
Uh,
Can you do that for each game in the series?
yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. Yeah,
Okay, so you want to Metal Gear or you want to start Metal Gear Solid 1 because it's more convenient with the cutscenes and all that stuff?
we go wherever we're gonna go. You want to start in the beginning with the OGs? I'll do that.
Okay. I did like the fact when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out, they
Mm,
gave you the option to play Metal Gear and Metal Gear and like extras in the game.
hmm.
So it was cool playing it on like a big screen and not having to go through and download an emulator.
Oh yeah.
So I would say
Mm.
actually seeing the Metal Gear.
Oh, okay. TX55.
Yeah. Because like you hear about it and stuff, and obviously going back and playing it, you've seen Rex, you've seen Ray, whatever.
Mm.
But it was kind of cool because it's like you had to figure out what Metal Gear was. And it was you didn't see or nothing. Gray Fox said, "Hey, Metal Gear," and all that.
Mm.
And then you finally get it, and it's like, damn, it's just this big ass robot that feels this. And it would keep in its day, but I love the fact that the only way to take it down is you had to put C4 on its legs.
Yeah.
Because if it can't walk, it can't fight. So it made sense.
Mm.
And I want to get better and bigger Metal Gear, but just that initial, you get to see the title of the game in all its glory and things like here's the little snake, and then here's Metal Gear.
Hmm.
So that for Metal Gear 1, that's what stands out to me the most.
Uh, I would say for my end for Metal Gear One, what's down is the introduction of guards. Sort of, I from when I was playing, because I didn't get a chance to play games until and it just like I heard about it. I never got a chance to play it because I was kind of like, do I want to go back? Because I would hear from people and they would say like, "Oh, well, these games are really difficult," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Well, then we're difficult. Like you
Yeah,
had,
made that way.
yeah, 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 exactly." It was either because they wanted you to get a strategy guide or to call like for Nintendo, you want to call that 1-800 number or whatever reason there was. But for game, it's like I can go back to that time, and it's like, yeah, I mostly probably played Mario, and for a game that was I'm an actual regular person, that like someone was gonna like stomp Goombas and stuff. Grounded with realism. It's like, yes, I'm infiltrating a base, and what's mostly likely I'm going to see on the base, other than the guards, it would be the dogs. The dogs are like basically trained to hunt anyone that's not supposed to be there, and that became like a thing. Like I had to like, because there's a life bar for this game, other than like the prisoners. So it's like in the beginning, it's like I got to strategize and make sure these dogs don't like they find me, get the hell out of the screen, or go in a truck real quick, because I'm probably gonna miss on hitting them, and then they're just gonna like keep jumping on me. So for that, it's pretty cool. It was really grounded, and it kind of showed like like for a game like even for back then, but how it's gonna not only cameras, not only guards, patrol guards. You also had like guard dogs as well.
Yeah. You mentioned Mario, and if you think about it, like Goombas, Turtles, they just went one direction.
Yeah.
That they were gone. But in this, they patrolled. The dogs will lead you whichever direction you were going.
Oh
So
yeah.
it really changes your whole aspect on how to play a game. Because you're like, oh, whatever, they're just walking a straight line. And then they see you, and it's like, oh no, they're coming after me. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. They would start hunting you down, especially in the mazes.
Yeah. A maze.
That
Oh.
was fun.
How many walls do we have to blow up in this basement?
Yeah, we get to the point where it's like I'm turning a corner, and all of a sudden a dog is actually in my face.
Yeah.
I lost track of the pooch.
No, side note, it always makes me laugh when I hear it now. When you say call that 1-800 number, I was watching, I think it was on Netflix. It was like history, gaming in general, video game history. It was something to that. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
the name of it.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But they were talking about how these people had to answer the 1-800 number. And this guy was like, it got so hard because we got the game the same day the customers did. We didn't have time. So they're calling us while we're playing the game, and we're like, oh, we haven't got to the part yet. And they don't have no strategy guides or anything, and they're making strategy guides as they go. And the guy's like, I got these maps I've drawn out with a pencil. I got these notes over here. This guy's asking about level 5. I'm on level 3. I can't help you, man. And that's actually why they eventually disconnected the number,
Yeah.
because they couldn't keep up with it, because so many people were playing these games and calling in. I was like, that sounded like a fun job until it wasn't.
Yeah, it costs too.
Yeah. All right. So Metal Gear 1, I said Metal Gear. You said Guard Dogs. All right. So now moving on to Metal Gear 2.
Oh yeah.
It's like from Metal Gear Solid 1 to Metal Gear Solid 2, the jump from Metal Gear to Metal Gear 2, you can tell how much more resources and how much more time Kojima was able to put into it. Because like the story, the gameplay, and everything was like that much better. When uh, you're at the bridge
Oh, okay.
and you get to see Metal Gear come up, and you find out Fox is in the Metal Gear, and you blow up the bridge, and he wants I can't remember her name, but the woman girlfriend
Oh, right.
from back in the day. So that's like the first time I'm like, oh man, there's like real like almost soap opera drama going on here. Like like your best like the best right hand guy for Foxhound betrayed you. He's got Metal Gear. He just blew up his damn bridge. This woman's dying now. Turns out it's his ex-lover. He don't know that he did it. And then what do you do across the bridge? She's dead. He's got Metal Gear. Like, what did we do? And so much more into the first Metal Gear and just general. But like that one part was like, okay, shit just got real. Like how are we gonna get through this? So I would say to the bridge scene and the fallout from that would be one of my highlights.
That's actually pretty good. That's kind of like where it turns it around for the game. Like you said before, like where the stakes are higher past that.
Yeah.
because you kind of like your guide to like get you where you need to get going. In a sense.
And if you remember before that, you had that nice talk with her
Mm-hmm.
about what she'd been through and all that. So it's like, if you don't know she's a guy, it's like, well, this is nice capability. Like, what's going to happen? And then literally a minute later, it's taken away from it, like instantly. And it's by who's supposed to be your ally.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Say for me, it's sort of like going towards like near the end. But it's a moment that it sticks once I played it. And it's after you take down Metal Gear D and it's like you and Gray Fox into this like secluded room, and you had to like hurry up.
Minefield.
Yeah, you had to hurry up, get all your stuff off of you because you're on fire and everything on you own is on fire. And going one-on-one with Gray Fox, hand-to-hand weapons, and that's like what you would hear in Metal 1. And so to play it, and I can guess the graphic limitations, but for a game, especially Metal Gear 2, for that game, for what was the system, that game jumped. It jumped leaps and bounds compared to the first one. And to have that fight with Gray Fox, that was a clinch. Yes, we'll fake boss afterwards. That's great. That was a neat boss battle for me. But to fight Gray Fox for taking down Metal Gear D, that was really, and also like solidified like both Snake and Gray Fox story going forward.
So that's why I said I had a few highlights, because that would be my other one. And I like the fact that it involves gameplay because it really takes away your weapons.
Yeah.
And Campbell calls you. He's like, hey, you have to get rid of this stuff. You're going to get burned alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then to walk in there, and it's just Gray Fox standing there. And you go through the game thinking about just punching people or whatever, but now you have to. It's like, this is handy. Only one of us is leaving here. If you try to leave, there's mines everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the most basic of like, who's best. And you could, it was Fox's mission to make sure Snake didn't gear defeat Big Boss, but it could have been personal too. Because Gray, a Foxhound, like he's literally like the top code name and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Snake to come in as a rookie and under heaven and then get all the way through Zanzibar land, you can almost see it as a perfect battle of greatness for Fox. Because he's like, nah, man, he's like, I'm the one, not you. So let's settle it right. The winner's on it. And it's done. Like he lays there and he has a log up until Metal Gear Solid died.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, like you said, Metal Gear Solid 1, Snake talks about it. He's like, we didn't hate what had to happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, that day I was better. I was the better fighter. I was the better man. So, like you said, the graphic limitations. So just imagine if they remade that for councils and you had CQC and all that, and he was able to fight Gray Fox straight. That'd be an amazing battle.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what happened? Like
Now for Gear 2, I said the bridge scene, and you said the Gray Fox minefield fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, to Metal Gear Solid 1, so many more options.
Oh, yeah.
So much in that game alone. Corny in it, but the Sniper Wolf death, I just was, you always have the bad guys go do a speech and then he dies. But for her, it's like death, because she even talks about how she was numb from it all and didn't know where to go. And the boss took her in, and all she knew was all she looked at was scope, else to live for. And she always wanted to have one good battle. Before you realized Snake was a clone, she says, Adam, and she starts. So if you want to go a little bit deeper there, David does like John, or looks like naked, or whatever you want to call it. So I can look at that as a little foreshadowing that she was looking as she was passing away. And like I said, I don't come off sounding cheesy, but it's a legit question. He's like, can love bloom on a battlefield? Like when you're and you're trying to survive, can you still find that connection with somebody? Is it something worth fighting for? Or are you just focused on shit? So it's kind of called like, are you just a mindless drone? Or are you still human? You still feel for people? Because like I like that how honored Sir Wolf fighter have a rifle and everything. He didn't have to do that. I mean, he could have she was talking her her last speech and called it a day, but he understood what she had went through because there's similar stuff. And then a nice piece of dialogue, and the music, and the setting, and then saying, hey, if we survive this, I'll tell you what I feel. So I kind of gave you something to look forward to, and I could carry through with. He does tell Annika at the end like his feelings about the situation, so it wasn't just like a one-off line. So that was like Ellen. It was a nice send-off, unique boss fight, a woman in general. And the fact that it's a woman games, you can have a woman bad guy, like woman sniper. It was all about macho men and their bandanas. But to have her be badass assassin sniper, like I said, I could name 10 shots in Metal Gear Solid that stand out to me. But I try to pick someone doesn't talk about as much.
Oh, I hear you.
You know, give a different perspective on a scene people might not talk about as compared to the clone scene or Psycho Menace, stuff like that. So I would say conversation, my highlight was the Sniper Wolf death scene.
Mm. I feel like the most like emotional, I think, for Mod 1. The other like boss fights, like how emotional did it get? And I think for that one, second step, that was like the most emotional. From I mean, you could probably say like yes, maybe Psycho Mantis, but it sounded like more like regret.
Yeah.
As he like kind of like he enjoyed like using abilities to like hurt people and
Yeah, because he even says like this is the first time I can remember doing something nice.
for like Sniper, she was kind of like using. She was. I'm trying to remember. Like for was she in charge of like watching Otacon?
What it was Anacon was infatuated with her at first,
Okay,
and he tried to help her feed the wolves and stuff.
gotcha.
And she did it just because it was like a human connection for her, because that's what she meant by
Yeah.
she lived her life looking through a scope. She had no human connection, and
Hmm.
she was just using weapon in general. So she literally forgot how to be a human.
Gotcha.
So the Otacon be so innocent, even though he was working on weapon of masterfully. That's why she kind of slide, just kind of let him do his thing,
Mm.
because they gave her that human connection she had become numb to.
Um, I mean, it's probably like really cliche. It'd probably be like this fight because we finally come across Metal Gear and like in the dimensional one that's like operational and basically we can see like basically what Kojima was trying like to do back then, but what he couldn't because of limitations of the technology. So it's like we're seeing like the first like an actual Metal Gear that is, you know, adding ourselves to like for this battle. And also like breaking down, it's like, yeah, we've finally come to realize like us are like cloned and like, you know, Gray Fox intervene to like make sure like that David like gets the upper hand all, because it is definitely one-sided, like for how Rex is like detailed out. It's how is like one person like, yes, he's obviously fought Metal Gears before and yes, but nothing like this, nothing like how what Rex is built up to. So for me, it's that, because it was also primary frustrating part of the game that I probably repeated so many times. Other than the liquid fight, it would be the most repeated portion of the game, and that would be the record. And just seeing like Gray Fox from playing it first time, you're like, wow, this guy just came out of nowhere, just me, and it's like, what was that about? Like, where does this camaraderie come from? And if you go back and get to play the original Metal Gear games, it's like, all right, he basically was like became a product of like some mad science fever dream of trying to like outlast death and become an ultimate cyber killing machine. And so I finally see him be free and to see the grave we were supposed to all know. That was also like, yeah, he came back for what was somebody who was fully a rival, but not fully a friend at the same time.
Like you see, you
Yeah.
know, and like it shows like from behind Solid Snake looking up at Metal Gear Rex. And in older games, it's like, oh, we'll only fight the
Mhm.
head portion of it, But when you get to the warehouse and all the ramps and platforms go away and the cutscene ends, it's like, oh my God, like we have to fight this thing.
Mhm.
And it's like filling up this whole damn warehouse and some missiles. And then when you look around, there's not a lot of hiding spots.
Nope.
And it's like, and then when you get behind the hiding spots, they get blown up eventually. So it's like really like David versus Goliath running around trying to figure this out. And then when you think it's the whole amazing cuts, Gray Fox and everything happens, and then you're fighting again.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much is it going to take this down? Like you're literally just a man. And I love the fact that David or Solid Snake, he has no superpowers. Like he's not invincible. He's like, whatever. It's just literally man versus machine. And not to mention, recently discovered is on it. But I do remember when Gray Fox jumped in and he found out he was deep throat and everything. That was an awesome. And then I thought when you're supposed to shoot
Mhm.
at Gray Fox, I thought my button was broken
Oh.
because I was hitting it and nothing was happening. And then I realized, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like it's supposed to be a gameplay mechanic, but Snake himself, no, I'm not going to do it. He's like, I can't, this man, after everything he's been through, and kind of compared to Wolf, Gray Fox got what he wanted. He wanted a rematch with Snake.
Mm-hmm.
He got it when they were in the lab, and then he's like, if I'm gonna, I want to help the one that I had respect for,
Mm-hmm.
which was, and just when he's like, like everyone's speech, and I can't say it word for word, but I love the fact that Metal Gear Solid 2, Snake takes that foundation with him, and he repeats it.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because he's like, it's the only thing I was ever good at, So he keeps Gray Fox with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shows how much respect I had for him. But like very amazing set piece because most boss fights is like you're on the left, boss is on the right. In older games, give the health bar boss fight over.
Mm-hmm.
This one it had like multiple health bars, cut scenes, dialogue, all kinds of stuff. I will 100% agree with you. That can be the most fun, stupid ass fight on Earth. And because I've played Metal Gear Solid 1 like many times at this point over the last 25 years. But I discovered during the fight, you can actually run under Rex and can't hit you with nothing as long as you stay under it.
Mm.
And you can enter Stinger and it will still lock on to the cockpit. And you can shoot from under still damaged liquid. So if you do a fight, you can really go through it completely undamaged and beat him. And I'm like, I've been doing that when I was like 11 and 98.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't hear any tips about that back then.
Yeah. And then, of course, like Liquid fight on top of Rex, that stupid headbutt rush he do. And not, I'm like, I'm so done with this. Like, I want you to be this hard to fight on a stupid robot.
Yeah, or like fall that's supposed to kill anyone, even
Right.
even you would die from the fall. I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't die, obviously.
And he was resilient. All right, so Miller 1 for change of pace at the Sniper Wolf death scene. He used a Metal Gear Rex battle, like the whole section and everything. And see, like that were distinctly different things, equally memorizing and like just amazing, like set pieces or whatever. All right, to Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, because I mean, there's certain things that stand out because of the craziness of it. There's those parts that stand out because it's just like a nice emotional part or whatever. Give two for this one because they're kind of different situations.
Yeah.
I would emotionally, my part would be right after Emma dies. And for the first time in the series, Solid Snake seems completely human, an Otacon like a brother. And they've grown over the years. And he's like, you gotta snap out of this. He's like, you're the only one of these hostages. I believe in you. Like, I got you. And then they do the high five that they have. If you know this, because I'm full of trivia and Easter eggs, if you watch the way they five, it's the Konami code.
Oh, really?
If you go back and watch it, they do 2 high fives up, and then they go down low twice, which is down, down. Then they go left and right, and then at the end, when their hands are, that's the AB.
Damn.
I didn't know about that for a long time. I had to go watch it multiple times, and if you watch it like hand movement by hand movement, it's the whole Konami code, which is like maybe the dumbest but Muslim Easter egg to have. Like, just make a code that's famous into a high five between two characters. But yeah, just overall, just love how Snake was willing to show his emotions. Like, he wasn't trying to be a hard, and he only did it for Otacon. He did it for anyone else. But it just shows like this is the guy he can connect with, and he knows all the shit we've been through, and even more when you find that is and all that bullshit. But just the fact he just lost his sister, you don't think he's worth a damn. And Snake's like, no, man, you hold this group together. Like, you're the backbone. If you wasn't here, I'd be here. So it's like you have to keep fighting, because if we don't, we're gonna think we fought for it to begin with. And then they do the walk off, which all was cheesy, amazing as well. But I just walk toward the screen. And the other one that's just crazy will be obviously the Colonel being the AI. Because at first, what the hell is going on? And then I love how you can go back and play a second time, and you can see there's actually a little glitch when you're talking to him. If you pay attention, when you're talking to him in the codec, his face will flicker, and you can see it or whatever behind it. So you can tell it's not a real thing. It's like this, the AI is glitchy.
Oh, okay.
Then he'll mention some kind of stuff. He's like, that's not part of the simulation. That's not part of the mission. And it's the AI, not because Raiden's doing something that the AI don't want him to do. So it's kind of messing Colonel Campbell, AI or whatever. So if you ever go back through it, just watch these little things. But that whole part, which just like turn off the system right now, or you have to infiltrate outer and scissors. Not to mention, the first time I played Metal Gear, me and my friend was at my house, and I didn't own a PS2 yet. I was always late to the game because my family wasn't what you call on the rich side of things. We were low on the money making side of things. But he bought this PlayStation 2. Like, let's go rent a game, and we rented Metal Gear Solid 2. He didn't have a memory card.
Oh, okay.
Metal Gear Solid 1, the first time I played Metal Gear Solid 2, I played it all the way through in one night. And I remember getting all the way to after the fight, where everything was messed up, go across the wreckage. We fell in the water, and I hit the wrong button. I exited out to start a new game. And toward the end of it, I went to sleep. But I was such a fan of it. Like, I was determined to get to the end of it because I wouldn't have another chance to play it. So it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm like delirious at this point, trying to stay awake. And then the Colonel AI starts happening. I'm just staring at the why does he keep on calling me? This is retarded. Like, what's going on? And then he's like saying this dumb stuff, and he's even speaking Japanese. I'm like, am I losing my shit right now? Did something happen to the game? Like, is there a scratch on it? Like, is this supposed to be happening? It happened. I was like, that's such a cool twist that involves gameplay. And then just the you're talking to an AI, no person,
Hmm.
which once again, no one had done that, and just to add on everything else that happens after that. But gameplay wise, it did work out. And not to mention the whole time, Brian's walking around holding his crush
Hmm.
and doing calls. Yeah, so it's the emotional level and the gameplay level, them two things, just because of just how intense one was, the other one was.
Gotcha. Those are moments too, like for the series and the series, but the game itself, especially when the AI kernel is just like flipping out and going nuts. I've heard like so many people who like when they either first got the game or just like played it, they played it like, and it would usually be like around like yeah, like the middle of the night, and all this is and it's either like they're thinking like, oh man, like am I having a fever dream? Or did my game just break? It also didn't help that like most of these like games would like make your PlayStation super hard and super hot and heavy, and it's
Like a jet engine going
yeah,
off.
yeah. I feel like it also like from hearing other people, it's like it got worse as like with each PlayStation, like to like point with PlayStation 4. I think some people like will play with them and their PlayStation 4 literally rattling like it's gonna take off on its own like a plane.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, those were always like iconic moments as well. For Blue Solid 2, on my end, I would say where we are at the part of the plant chapter where we're riding and we're trying to find. I think the person is the head Secret Service agent because you're still trying to find the president and you have to rendezvous person, but it's basically he's being held up in an area secured, and the only way you can go in that you have to change your uniform. So
No, I was Ames.
there you go, Ames.
Yeah, you're looking for Ames.
And I thought that was like so interesting because we haven't done that yet. It's like we will come across, for people who play the game later on, like Metal Gear 1, you'll briefly wear an enemy uniform to abortion, but that's about it. We haven't done that where like change our entire like how we look, pick up some weaponry, to like fit in, and so, like sneaking behind further down, like in behind enemy line, and to also like not only use our weapon, but also like figure a way to like how to find this person, like between the coded calls and everything. We'll find out that, like, oh, this person has a pacemaker, so you're gonna have to like equip your directional mic and listen into everyone's like heartbeat. And so when I first played that, I was literally listening to, like every single hostage because I was like, I don't know who this aims like, but I'm gonna point at this directional mic at every single person. And I thought it was so cool for like gameplay wise, and mixed it like story wise. But again, it would like I believe as you're like progressing, it would cut through like Revolver like watching. I think when you get to
Yeah.
like him
Yep.
watching you, it's like, oh crap, I'm also being watched. I completely forgot about that. It's like I may like the Russian soldier, but like they're not gonna really believe people. And so for that, using that like of like directional mic was like really interesting playing that game.
Like you said, like other games, you hadn't done anything like that really.
Yeah.
And they could have stopped at, okay, just put this enemy outfit on. And
Hmm.
it's like, no, now you have AK-7U or whatever weapon, and it's
Hmm.
only in this area. So you have to have it equipped. Okay, now you have to find directional mic because you gotta find this. And to get into the room, you gotta grab a soldier, not knock him out,
Oh,
take him to
yep.
the eye scanner, and you still have other enemy soldiers walking around. So it's a really intense part of the game. It's like if I do anything wrong, like it's game over. And then, like you said, get the aims. Like Ocelot's over talking Solidus
Hmm.
and Olga. Then he's like, who's this soldier? Why is he talking names? And then you get that split of him walking towards you. You have to hurry up and unequip the directional mic, equip your gun, or you get caught. So all of it's pretty, you got storyline going on while you're trying to do this different stuff. And then I don't know if you know this because I always talk about all these Easter eggs, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
Well, why you have the direct mic? Because Ames tells you to listen in on Ocelot and Solidus's conversation.
Mhm.
If you go all the way to the left, it's Johnny in a bathroom. And he is obviously the guard from Metal Gear Solid 1 that Earl knocks out for the outfit, who becomes a staple series for some reason. But if you listen in on, he's even talking about how he gets all these bullshit scenarios, and he even talks about he was at Shadow Moses. And Olga reminds him of Meryl.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it's actually twice in that game you can hear Johnny because you can hear him there, and when you're riding and you're watching Emma go across the oil fence. Once she gets to, she has to walk around the little tower. Once she gets behind, if you get a directional mic, she runs into Johnny.
Oh, right.
Conversation, and he's all like, "I'm gonna let you go, but you need to go now because my stomach can't handle it." That's the kind of dumb stuff I love, because some people are like, "Oh, whatever, man, fart poop jokes." But I'm like, this guy has consistently been through every major scenario that Snake has been through, and he survived all the way up to the end. Obviously, if you played Metal Gear Solid 4, this guy survived all this and got the woman in the end. So if you had to say a winner.
And that like also shows you gotta be like really like attention to detail for these games to like
Right, yeah.
all these things. And it's like something second part of like that. Like I missed it and completely forgot about it until like I saw like a video of it like on YouTube. And I was like, man, like think about that because I wouldn't normally think about like let me use my directional mic outside of like the mission I just like had it needed it for.
Yeah. Because he was like, whatever, dumb and stuff. I was like, you gotta give the man credit because he does go in depth to try to give you as much experience as he can. And something so small as like, what? You played this game once? You don't have to listen to this conversation. You know what's going on. Move your mic to the left. What? You hear someone else talking? And then to find out it's a guy from the first game, as in for one scene for like 30 seconds. Like, wow, he remembered that and put him in this game.
Yep.
And I would say Solid 2 really stepped up on giving you not Easter eggs, just fun little spots that you wouldn't know about unless you really deep dive. If you kill enough that's flying around, if you shoot them enough, Rose will break up with you. She will call you and she's all like, how could you be so sick and kill animals? We're through. And if you try to save, there won't be a save option for a couple of times. She's like, no, I'm not saving for you, like you animal killer. And then there's when you're walking through a soldier talks about having to take a piss, and he'll literally pick the building. And if you stand under it, look up in first person, and then call Campbell, he will apologize and that you get pissed on. And Rose mentions that she hopes you shower when you get home. So like even little things like the game so much better because you don't expect that to be there, and when you find it, it's such a neat little thing put in there.
Treasure troves.
Yeah.
The series. Okay.
All right, so define. Okay, yeah. Overall enemy. You become right. Overall, okay. Because like we got off on a tangent there. Like, wait, what was the core of that? So mine was the Campbell AI, Otacon, Sting, Romance. Yours was the enemy infiltrator. Okay. Now going on, amazing game ever. Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. Now this one, I'm just gonna say the whole game. No. every little section, every bit of it.
Oh, okay, like for real?
I mean, it could be fun. I'll try to break it down, pick at least one thing. Okay, group, I guess. It's every time and snake each other
Mm-hmm.
because of how it builds and builds up into their last until they actually fight. Because, like I said earlier, when they're on that bridge, she first betrays him. Like I love technology was good enough. The anguish and confusion on his face,
Mm-hmm.
like he's literally just looking around like, hold up, like being a submarine in Antarctica and you're supposed to be helping. You're on this bridge. Like, what are you doing? And the fact that she's so calm and she's just sharing like, I'm,
Mm-hmm.
screw America. I'm with these guys now. And Snake's like, no, 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 that's not how this works. Like, you're my mentor. You wouldn't do this wrong. So he's trying to understand it. And she's like, no, I warned you that today's allies will be tomorrow's enemy. Are you loyal to me or your mission? So everything she was saying up to that point, literally playing it out in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to warn him in a way. She's like, this is going to happen one day. And you're going to have to accept another because you can't stop it. And then pull his gun because he knows what else to do. He's like, okay, I'm going to pull my gun. And then within like seconds, she takes apart the gun. She breaks his damn arm. And then she literally throws him off a bridge. Like, oh, like understanding of life has been destroyed
Mm-hmm.
by the mentor. And some people say he's in love with her. Other people say it's a mother thing. I mean, you can go wrong with it. I don't think it's ever a sexual thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he just had such a deep connection with her that it went beyond any kind of relationship put on it. Because he was legit connection level that when it was broken, it literally in every aspect of his life. Like he couldn't trust anybody, he couldn't rely on anybody anymore. Like he literally lost it, believed in because of her. But that's like the and then when you start Operation Snake, like right off the bat, she's there and
Mm-hmm.
she's all like, "You're gonna have to kill me because if I see you again, I will you." And he's like, "Why defect?" And she's all like, "Reasons. You have to deal with that. I have to explain myself to you because you think I'm somebody doesn't mean I am that person. That's just what you think. This is what it is, and you're gonna have to accept it, or you're not gonna." She even says, "You're not gonna complete this with the way you're acting right now." She's like, "You're gonna fail." And then once again, and I feel like even though he tried,
Mm-hmm.
he's not going 100%. Don't want to hurt her. He hasn't from her yet. So I feel like he's only going like speed, which is why she gets to jump on him so quick. And she's literally throws his gun again. And then she literally throws the gun and she's like, "You're nothing. You're pathetic." So in a weird way, shaking so he can build himself back up, see her as the enemy because even though he doesn't know it, overall goal is she has to die.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to the end of the game, you realize what's going on. And then on right before scene, they have another confrontation, and this time he literally gets a move on her. Like she doesn't just toss him sandbag, he literally gets a move in and puts her down for a second. But then he resists because he don't want to fall through. She jumps right back up, whoops his ass again. But I love that every single time he confronts, he's becoming more to the fact that he can't half-ass it. He can't back off. He's gonna have to take her down. So finally, at the end, when they meet in that grassy area, that's when you actually get because now you do have to go all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then to add on to it, she's like, "Oh, cool. Either you kill me and turn off this switch, or they're gonna bomb the hell out of this place, and we all die anyway." So she has to either A, they all die, which completes the mission because you kill the boss, or she finally makes him understand where his loyalty stands and he has to kill her. But I just love throughout the whole game how it builds and builds and builds. At the end of Kojima makes you, the player, finish it. That yeah, like you have so that's like Kojima saying, you may not like the way this is going, you may not agree with it, just like I doesn't agree with it, but this is how the story's gonna end. I'm gonna make you pull the trigger. And I thought that was a story building character development and a hell of an ending to a character. She knows she's gonna die.
Mhm.
So, no matter what happens, she's gonna die. But she's like, "One, I want you to do it. Like you need to be the one now." And then Kojima's like, "Yeah, we'll take her down, and there's no way around it. You won't beat the game. Pull the trigger. The game. Just leave it there." So I would say my favorite part of Metal 3 is just that as a whole, the build up and the development of him finally releasing her from his self. Like he's attached to her, he sees her as an enemy. He finally is able to take her down. And it makes for like an amazing the overarching story between her and him.
Pick the best. This one. Yeah, especially because you know what? Once when I first played this game, when that happened, and then I had to realize like, oh, we're not progressing. Actually, hit the action button to shoot her. And I was like, wow, this is like you're telling her you want the game to be over, you have to do it. Like the character's not gonna do it. Submerge yourself as Naked Snake and finish the job. And for that, I was like, that's like probably why Metal Gear Solid 3 might be like most consistently liked and top choice for the fans. Say. And for like all the other games, yes. Other games lean heavy on cinematics, other games lean heavy on gameplay. This one's kind of like a good blend of like all the above. And to have that as your end, like you're gonna complete the mission. She trained you. She was still training you to basically go through an entire Cobra unit to have her be the end. It became like just like so it was like, yeah, that's why he is called Big Boss afterwards. Because he is the one person to actually the boss. And that's a good one. But I would say for me, it would actually be the end. And primarily like this would be completely different. Like you would think like, oh, I'm gonna fight this over. Like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the drop on him. I'm definitely gonna be able to take him out. Not the case. Played it. It took me about maybe days is what I'm supposed to do. Run around in the jungle and getting shot at by him and then dragged to a prison cell. That probably like what's like stuck out. Like all the other boss fights were good, decent, and to have his fight somewhat like in the middle of the game, it was going to show this is what I'm going to have to be. This is what I'm going to have to do. It's like I got to be extremely creative. I'm going to have to figure a way to like get the upper hand on this person. And for all the other fights, he's like almost like a secondary thing where it's like, yes, you can also kill his bird as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take you out too because I was super frustrated from this boss fight, and you're going down with the old man. It's too bad you couldn't.
Right.
I was like,
Paramedic wouldn't like that anyway,
he could the bird and be like, I'm gonna cook it and roast it right now. There's open flames.
Yeah, like I love the fact that they put you in a jungle setting, and then you're like, okay, sniper battle. Now, if you played Metal Gear, you would okay, Sniper Wolf. You guys just run back and forth and to whatever 5-minute fight. But then you Zero and Siga and them, they're like, no, this guy is like he created modern day sniper. Like you don't just get the guy. Like he lives for a battle like this. He's hoping like this is his last one. Dude's like 100 years old. He's literally keeping himself alive for one good fight. And then it's like not only is it the area you're around in areas, like you go through 4 different areas. And so you have is your sniper and a directional mic. And if he'll shoot you, and like you said, he will literally drag you back to a damn prison. You have to run back to the boss area. And it's like there is no well, there is a way around it, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah. I would say, like, gameplay wise, and all the Metal Gear series, that was my favorite boss fight
Hmm.
because it was like there's no there's no robot things involved. There's no ricocheting bullets from Ocelot. There's no Vulcan Raven with a big machine gun. It's legit two guys with sniper rifles trying to get the drop on each other. And when I did actually want him and stop on him, I was so excited that I forgot to shoot,
Hmm.
and he jumped up and dropped a flashbang and ran off. Eventually, I got good enough to where I was able to get the his sniper rifle, and then I took him down with tranks and got his camouflage. But yeah, I would say our gameplay aspect that overall was like the best part of that game. And when it comes to stuff,
Hmm.
I like the fact that you had the Cobra unit, and this guy shoots these out of his mouth. This guy can dislocate his arms and run up and down trees. But I felt like Kojima went more grounded character development, the human aspect of it all. He's talking about loyalty to the mission, the mentor relationship between boss and like even Volgan to a degree kind of takes a back seat to what's going on, but he's there and they give him some background. He's like the main antagonist. I feel more like it's boss versus Snake at the end of it. And people can have different look at it. And if you read up on an interviews with Kojima, people was so over the top. Metal Gear Solid 2 was he was basically like, okay, take it down to the core level, ground level of nature, human emotion. So like gear. You have the Shagahod, but really
Yeah.
it's not some bulky bipedal weapon or whatever. You don't have like all this over the top technology. And that's what I really loved about it. Took away all of this like stuff, and it's like you don't have radar.
Mm.
You have something that was in real life in the '60s that could pick up sound, and it would kind of ding. But what was that? It would just let you know someone's in that area with you. And weapons, your silencers on your gun would disintegrate because the heat from the was making it hard. So you didn't have a silencer unless you found new ones to attach to your gun. And then like to feed yourself, you could blow up ammunition depot. Guys are talking about how they're afraid to shoot their gun because they're gonna run out of ammo. Or you blow up the food supply, stomach's ground because he hasn't ate all day because someone destroyed. So once again, many reasons why I love that game so much because it literally took you to ground level and made you fight in all aspects of it. Storyline, gameplay, it was all about you versus the environment, you versus boss. I agree, you versus yourself on trying to move past what you believed in for so long, making Naked Snake become Big Boss. So, like I said, one of the minions, I love that game so much. So for me, I said the boss versus overall, and you said boss fight.
Hmm.
So good. I'm enjoying this a lot. And I'm trying to watch the time, but I was like, I still have enough time to get through all the games. I think. All right, so focus on 4 then. Like I was already like I would say Metal Gear Solid 4 before I pick what my favorite. I think Kojima just tried to do too much. Like he tried to fulfill like the ending chapter, and some of it
Yeah.
hit, some of it didn't, and all of us can say, "Oriole, Nano Machine, son." Like I think that much, but overall, my favorite game was Snake versus Ocelot boss fight. At the end of it,
Okay.
how and went through the different personalities, and by the end of it, you finally got Ocelot himself, like the true Ocelot, and it was cool because I can expect really beating all this shit out of it's like you're not Liquid, you're not Young Ocelot, you're not this, you're not that. Like, let's get to you. And then the way the music played and how they screamed at each other, even when they got the syringes, they gave it to each other so they can get back up and finish the fight. And then finally at the end, like at the end of it all, it just says pretty good and does that like a sand gesture. I felt that was a great win. Like, besides, Big Boss is one of the best characters in throughout the entire series. And then when you find out everything Allah did in the background and everything he fought for it to finally be completed,
Mm-hmm.
he was like able to call it a day finally. And the fact to go out like he did, and he knew he was done. He was just like he was happy. Damn, it's finally over. Like, you're pretty good, and now it's it. But yeah, just the overall, the build up to it, the atmosphere, the music, and even when the health bars would change,
Mm-hmm.
it would show like the health bar from Metal Gear Solid 1, and then it would show like the stamina bar and stuff from Metal Gear Solid 3, and then would go Metal Gear Solid 4's like thing, and even the names would change from Liquid Ocelot to Ocelot to Young whatever,
Yeah.
and the music would change accordingly. So it was literally going through a whole history and a boss fight. And when it was finally over, like, you're pretty good. Real crisp.
No, and I think people like overlook that boss battle, really. I think people like because like about like, oh, it didn't like make like it didn't feel like it was any other like boss battle within the series. But I thought it was like a really refreshing like change. It's like you obviously like every iteration of Ocelot through the timeline of the series. It's sort of like we're changing up like this boss battle where it's like the layout and how it looked and the gaming camera is like changing to like almost look like a fighter game in a way. And I really got into it when I first played it, and I was like that is pretty cool. And then it took a second or third time to realize like, oh, yeah, that's right, the music's changing as we're progressing through the battles, and then to realize like, oh, the way his name on the bar and like the way the bar looks is changing throughout the battle as well. I was like, I didn't pick that up last time.
And even the way he fights changes.
Yeah.
Because he even uses some of Liquid's move from Metal Gear Solid 1 when he does the
Mm-hmm.
rushing towards you with the headbutt or whatever.
Yeah, so it's kind of like go take through all the years of like all these games, all these different like fights and fighting styles, and I thought like that was like a really way to kind of like culminate like this character, especially like him adopting the kind of like Liquid as well.
Yeah.
And
And you said people probably complain more about like how long the ending cutscene was and how things didn't get wrapped up the way they wanted to. And once again, it goes back to you look for the good in things. Stop looking for all the bad because it's just going to make you hate things you should. So I'm like, yeah, the ending cutscene is shorter. They could have wrapped up things nicer, but when it was good, and I think like the aspect of that boss fight and even the background, like the sun is set.
mm,
You can literally see the sun coming down, so it's literally setting. Like the sun is
mm-hmm.
it's literally setting on Ocelot and everything he's been through. So I don't think you could have done the ending of that character any more than the way it was done. Anyway, and civil storytelling with the health bars and names and music and everything.
From my end, um, I mean, I've heard like everyone else talk about like enjoyed like, oh, returning back to Shadow Moses, or like, oh, sort of like having like an open structure battlefield going through like in the beginning. But like I really enjoyed like both story and gameplay was like when we get to see we didn't know who it was, but we like the code, I think the code name was Big Mama or Mama, I don't remember. But when basically gets to finally see like the mother he never got, he never probably obviously, I don't think he ever saw, like character wise.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like sort of like that, and like being introduced to her and what she's been doing, and protecting the body, what we were to believe was Big Boss. And then the gameplay where you're gonna like hop on the motorcycle with your mother, and you're just gonna like shoot it out in the streets of like somewhat like Eastern European town that's like kind of like nondescript. But it's also, it kind of gives you like vibes. That's when you first get there, it's like it's very like this is like almost like I felt back in time to like Civil War time, not Civil War. Sorry, Cold War time. I was like where in Europe are we?
Yeah, like the clothes they're wearing and
Hmm.
like the weapons they have and everything. Yeah, definitely feel like a throwback to something else.
Yeah, and so it's like that's another thing where like I enjoyed. It's like the whole part, but primarily meeting up with Big Mama and like finding what's happening here and like where we're going towards.
Throwback is if you look at the jacket she's wearing, the black jacket she has on, when you play Metal Gear Solid 5, you get to see it's the same jacket Big Boss is wearing.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if he got it from her, she wore it because he wore it or whatever. But it was like this nice connection there.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, the bike he's riding at the end of Solid 5 is the one she drove in 3.
Hmm.
It's the same model. Like meeting Eva obviously was cool because you get that connection back to 3. And like you said, Snake never had a family per se.
Hmm.
It's like his dad. He's not really his dad. He's just a clone. But Eva really did have him. Like he was injected into her embryo, all that scientific crap. But for the fact that she got to see her son first time, and it's like, if you will,
Yeah.
like it's like flipping was so. And I would stand to say, like, I think Solidus as a character is unappreciated
Hmm.
because depending on how he wasn't a bad guy, because he knew what the Patriots was connect from him. He just went about it in a way that made him out to be a terrorist.
Yeah.
But in reality, he was trying to make the world better by resetting it. Like basically before internet, AI took over. So I always felt like people didn't give him enough justice, and he should have been in the series a little bit longer than he was.
Hmm.
But just the fact that, and then I love how when you're talking, if you look around in first person, you see photos from older games. Like you'll see like a picture of Naked Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3. You see like a poster of all the Metal Gears and stuff, and just the way she. And I love how she's like, I am your mother and everything. And then she talks about how you look like him. Like almost hurts me.
Hmm.
Like you look like John or whatever. And then I love how cycle chasing is a throwback to Metal Gear Solid 3 with
Hmm.
what Naked Snake and Eva did. And she even repeats the line, um, I love I'll only get off my bike if I'm in love.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, and she said it again. And it's amazing because she's on the bike with her son. So I mean she's in love with her son. And then when they reckon everything off a bike is because she's defending him and she's dying. So it's like what she said in a weird about way. But I did the only one thing I didn't like that whole section once you know everything that happened at the end of the game was she should have known that was Solidus.
Yeah.
So why would she go out of her way to turn herself alive to protect the body if she knew it wasn't big? So I don't know if she was trying to play her part and she knew she was the new version of Fox Die because it was going after all the original Patriots or whatever, or just they didn't think about that storyline. It's just like once I learned everything, and I was like, that's a weird out of place thing to be like, oh my lover, the man I did everything for, but I'm gonna go jump in this fire to death.
Yeah, no, it didn't really make much. It didn't make much sense. Like afterwards, it's like, shouldn't she have known that that wasn't the real Big Boss?
Yeah, so I guess she was just playing part like Ocelot was, how he brainwashed himself and everything.
Yeah.
She did it so Because I can understand if she had that much compassion for Big Boss and everything, she
Mhm.
probably would slip up at some point because of the compassion that she had for Zero and all that. So I could imagine that she was left in the dark, and maybe Ossaw just told her, "Hey, that's Boss." But
Yeah.
if you want to break it down even more, funny when you go back and look at it, the wrong eye was missing.
Mhm.
You
Oh,
can
right.
tell, like, yeah, like the eye
Yeah.
patch thing or whatever was on the wrong eye. I didn't even catch that the first time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's brief,
Yeah,
but if you like, yeah, if you can like quickly like look at it or like pause or especially watching a video on YouTube, you're like, oh yeah.
but once again, it's kind of like one of those little things Kojima did. So it's like
Mhm.
if you look at everything in the cutscene, I'm telling you things ahead of what's happening. I would say on the side note, like up there is when you got the Gear Rex.
Oh, right.
It was such a thing, but to have Solid Snake of all people controlling the Metal Gear, fighting Ocelot, who's apparently possessed by liquid,
Mhm.
who's controlling a Metal Gear Ray, and it's like a Gundam fight. It's so out of place, but it was so fun.
That's a highlight
Yeah.
of the game. Yeah.
And then it also includes the part I laughed at so hard is when Ocelot does the Fox Die fake out.
Oh, right.
He's like, oh, and then he comes back. He's like, ha ha ha. And then he jumps up and he's running for the ship. He
Mm.
turns around, does like bangs with his fingers for no good reason. Like it's so
It's out of nowhere.
cartoonish and
Yeah.
dumb. I'm like, okay, like I'm here for it. Like he really played the part, I guess, if you will. But they went away from Liquid actually possessing his body
Mm.
because I felt like in the third one, you find out Ocelot's dad is Sorrow.
Yeah.
They gave you a good connection of spirits being connected to still living people, which would make sense in the Metal Gear world. But I'll make a good point. I don't know if it's a theory or just an obvious observation. By the time Metal Gear Solid 4 starts, when Ocelot takes off his shirt, you can tell he has a new arm. It's not an arm.
Yeah.
So you could say that he realized being possessed by Liquid through that arm, so he got rid of the for a new one, which is why we couldn't possess him that way. But to keep the Patriot AI think it was, he played the part.
Hmm.
So I mean the AI couldn't tell the arm and he's playing the part, so I'm like, I can accept that. But I just wish they would have done more because it would actually have made sense for three. But not everything's gonna land flush with this and how much he's trying to get in at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like that would be the last. Like 4 was supposed to end up like not being the case.
Yeah, like every Metal Gear game ever, history
Yeah.
of Metal Gear. All right, so for 4, mine was the Ocelot fight, reuniting with Eva.
Mhm.
Once again, could be 100 scenes and parts in that game. I would say the Shadow Moses thing, going back to Shadow Moses, was pretty amazing. I wish you could actually like fight guards lots.
I know. Yeah.
That's the one thing that threw me off. I was like, that's kind of dumb. It kind of takes away from the feeling of being back on Shadow Moses. But I did like the fact when Otacom call out something. He's like, hey, this is where you fall. Like, you took on a tank, man. That's crazy. And this is where like we first met. He's like, oh yeah, you pissed in that locker. And he's like, why do you keep on bringing that up? Like, ain't
Every
funny. So like all that part of it was really cool. All right, so is Peace Walker next?
Yeah.
Because Peace Walker came out before Metal Gear Solid 4.
After. Is that what you asked?
I remember because I'm trying to think of when you're in that church for Metal Gear Solid 4, when you look at the pictures,
Hmm.
I thought it showed a picture from Peace Walker.
Oh.
Either way, it comes after. Now, when I first played Peace Walker, it was weird because I never had a PSP.
Hmm.
So I played it on the PlayStation, not 3 HD collection or whatever. And hell, it was like made for
Yeah.
when you try to play with the controller. So at first, I wasn't really into it. like I wanted to be because it was Metal Gear, but I'm like, this is weird. Like I don't feel like a Metal Gear Solid game to me. And then once I kind of opened my mind to like it's meant to be played this way and not like a normal Metal Gear,
Mhm.
because Kojima he made up missions to be small so you could play it quick, set it down, come back and do it again. Because if you go a car trip, you can be doing it while you're on the airplane. So he purposely made everything smaller and you can save whenever. Laugh when you're about to boss fight, it's like to be continued. And then let you go into the menu and like just everything to like whoop the boss's ass with. But for that one, I don't know. Like they're good,
Mhm.
but personally, not a lot of things in Peace Walker like real big stood out. Because like the game, but I thought it was weird that all the boss fights were robots,
Yeah.
and like I thought that took away from like the development and stuff. The rest for me is when Snake has the boss's horn, and you have to smash on the button, and the horse is chasing down Peace, and then dying because it really pushed itself to death to get Snake to Peace Walker.
Yeah.
But I thought that part were all like the music and stuff, and the fact you had to smash the X button, and Snake's trying to push the horse like do this. We have to complete this mission, and like he's literally pushing the horse to the brink to stop like nuclear holocaust. So I'd say would stand out. And then Kodak wise, I don't know how you get to that when Snake talks about Santa Claus. You heard this dialogue?
It sounds like anybody like talk about it really.
Okay, like I can't remember how you actually activate it,
Mm.
but Snake talks about being close to Christmas time.
Mhm.
And he's like, we have to be careful. We don't want to shoot down Santa Claus. And Kaz thinks he's joking. He's getting like legit pissed. He's like, why are you laughing at me? He's like, Santa Claus is real. No, it's Huey. My bad, not Kaz. It's Huey. Huey's laughing at him. And Snake's like, what's so funny? Like, Santa Claus is real. Like, he brings me gifts every year. And it's just so funny seeing the hard ass, like it's Snake or Big Boss, talking about Santa Claus. And he's like, I'm always scared NATO is going to shoot him down thinking it's an enemy aircraft. And Huey's like, I never thought you was this funny. And you just hear Snake getting more and more pissed off. Finally, he just cuts off the conversation because Huey won't stop laughing at him.
Yeah, because Walker's like a different type of game, and out of all of them, like yes, it's a Metal Gear game, but like game that's like brought from to like the whether if you have like collection or the Legacy collection, it feels different, play different than the rest of them. But this one, what I would say like what stood out and like kind of like changed it up for me was that like in the beginning, like we see reintroduced Big Boss again, and he's his own military force sort of like starting up. We're all by the beach, and then we get like kind of like a combination of sort of like PS graph cutscenes. We get past this part, we're introduced to like professors and Paz, and it's like it changes. It's like we have like the cutscene changes from like sort of like a PSP rendered into like basically these new like drawings,
Like a comic book
like
almost.
comic book, yeah, like a style, and it's like whoa, like what, like okay, like this is what we're gonna have, like that makes it like even more interesting. It's like I'm gonna see like almost like style, like the cinematic scenes, and then to also like realize like don't forget, even though there's like scene, you're still gonna have that whole like watch out for like these not like quick time events, but like for like changing your viewpoint, because when you're looking at Pause, you can change it, and all of a sudden like, you see her like in her underwear, which
Yeah,
I don't know what that's supposed to like mean. Like are you dressing her down for weaponry? Like is that superpower? You can see through clothes.
maybe we're just trying to see as any weapons on We'll go with
Yeah.
that.
So, like, yeah, it's like kind of showing you where it's like, yes, this game is different, but it's still the same old Metal Gear, and yes, we're still gonna have the same old Kojima horniness as well. So that's what stood out for me for Peace Walker.
Yeah, the beginning was cool because like training on the beach, and they're like, "Oh man, here comes Big Boss." You actually hear him being called Big Boss, even though he doesn't like it,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, then they're like, "We get to train C," and it's like kind of a tutorial for you to get used to the PlayStation or PSP controls. But it's also showing how much Big Boss has grown, how his soldier stuff respecting, and like they're in awe of him when he's like, "Oh look, the boss is coming to train with us. Like this is awesome. We got to step up our game." So like you can literally get excited because you don't know where it's gonna go, but it's like, is he building Outer Heaven?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this the beginning of it? And I would say like that's one of the things I didn't mind it, but I hated like, no, this is not Outer Heaven. Saying what the one in Peace Walker is Wave Group. I can't remember the exact
Yeah.
pronunciation.
MF is like I think you say like Militaires Sans Frontiers.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh okay. And then like Metal Gear Solid 5 happens. I'm like, oh come on, this has to be like Outer Heaven. It's like, no, this is Diamond Dogs. And I'm like, why are you adding all these like false starts to Outer Heaven? Like I thought it'd been for Metal Gear Solid 5 if you was instead of other base, you was building up Outer Heaven.
Mm.
That would have been so cool. Like it even gave you like the logos for Outer Heaven to use
Yeah.
as your own. And like you could have totally done that. It would have worked just fine. And then like I said earlier in the podcast, like you could go do a mission where you pick up Gray Fox. And it's
Mm.
like Gray Fox, you're in control of training the guys that shoot and everything. And Ocelot, you're teaching them how to do espionage. And like Sniper Wolf, you work with and you can take them on certain missions and stuff, and that will build up the legacy and the characters of the game much better than having a bunch of randomly named NPCs just walk around the base, salute you,
Mm-hmm.
and thanking you for cracking her head off the street using CQC. But hindsight is always 2020. All right, then ground. I don't know if you want to combine Ground Zero and Metal Gear Solid 5 together or one from each.
If you want.
Okay.
They feel like almost two entirely different like games as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of deep discussions about that too, how they play differently and how things are looked at. I would say cutscene scene
Oh yeah.
with pause and everything, like how far and gritty Kojima pushed that and the undertone and everything of what was going on. Like that was pretty intense. Like I looked down, I'm like, this is like disgusting and interesting and sad and like what the hell is going on? It's crazy. And like that whole lead up to being destroyed and everything. I'm like, they're going all out for this. This is gonna like end or whatever. And then wise, the feel of it was amazing. Like the way Snake could take off on a sprint, slowly take off,
Mm.
and then you like speed up and you could dive, and like the lighting and everything. Amazing job when they made that. I wouldn't have it as a $60 game, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, for Ground Zeroes, I would the helicopter scene and pause and everything. Like they're stood out the most to me as being intense and just ugh.
Yeah, no, that was like, and I would say, I think it was like kind of like saying like, oh, where this last iteration is gonna go. So it's gonna get this dark, and you're gonna see like these kind of like what they would say like these taboos
Yeah.
going
It's like
forward.
we're gonna earn that mature.
Yeah, like yeah, I was gonna say like you're really this is gonna be like the most maturest Metal Gear game by far. And in a way, it is if you combine everything, including like all like the replacing of codec conversations with tapes to get the whole story. But yeah, that's the part like that shocked me because for my pick, it would be like sort of like giving you of how to complete the mission. It's like find what Paz and Chico are, gather intel, and you can get them way you want. You can get Paz first, which would like ramp up security immediately, and have a tank like show up right at the door. Which I'm like, wow,
Right outside the door.
I was like, damn, you guys work really fast. I was like, I just got her, and I thought I didn't like put any alerts. And sort of like also like having like side missions within the main mission of this, kind of showing you, it's like all these other smaller stories within the story. Like we have all these other like POWs that we're gonna have to like pull out. Because I'm trying to remember like what was the reason for like who was hired for that job. Well, but just like the integration of smaller side missions within the main mission, and it's not gonna like you complete this one or it's gonna load up the next one or whatever. It's like no, you can actually keep going. You can do the little side missions, then go for the main mission, and the game doesn't have to end. It'll continuously going through.
It's like go save these hostages,
Mm.
particularly this hostage before he's executed, and then go find Chico and Paz.
Yeah, that's part I really enjoy. Is like what we're gonna see as the beginning of it. It's like wow, it's like what are we waiting for in the next one?
And I would even say you call Ground Zero's open sandbox. Like it was open, but it was still contained in a certain area.
Yeah.
But you could do so much in that area. A lot of people said it felt like it could be Shadow Moses
Oh yeah.
to a degree. I thought maybe Metal Gear Solid 5 itself would have worked better if you had a bunch of sections like Ground Zero, instead of having all of Afghanistan, because there's a lot of nothing going on
Yeah.
in certain parts where you're just running across empty fields and desert spots. So I think maybe like you have a group of 5 missions. 5 of these missions take place in this particular sandboxed area, and you complete those. It opens up, so then go over here and do this.
Mm.
And I think it would have been funner because you still have your open world aspect, but it's not so much that it gets dragged down to where, well, what's the point of running across this mile? Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
Like after a while, it becomes boring. Like there's no fun and just there's no interactions with anything. There's no people talking. It's just Snake running or he's riding a horse or whatever.
Mm.
So I think it could have worked to its benefit to have smaller sandboxed areas. But yeah, overall, like the game opened it, made it feel that much fun to play. And I even kept on going back and playing until I 100% everything. And I didn't like it because it didn't give you a platinum trophy. It just gave you 100%.
Oh no.
I'm like, how dare you? Like I did all this crap for you. I even saved Kojima himself in the side mission. You can't give me a platinum trophy. Like whatever.
That sucks. I didn't realize that.
Look at it, it'll say 100% completion, but it won't give you no platinum trophy. It'll just give you the 15 trophies you can unlock. Some of that stuff was, oh
Yeah.
man, like the one where you saved Kojima, you couldn't kill nobody.
Mm-hmm.
In a helicopter shooting at people, but you have to use like your trank gun and not blow up anybody, like get shot. Like it's just so stupid.
I was like probably like to save me, you have to be
Yeah,
like,
right.
you're a pacifist run.
Well, I mean, if you heard all the stuff, it's like his overall message was anti-war.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get the mission? You have to save him. Don't kill nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't blow anything up. No C4 in someone's back. Like, just come save me and call it a day. All right, so Metal Gear Solid 5 then.
Yeah.
I won't cast it and stuff like that because that's not really a main. And Portable Ops, I never played it.
Either.
I watched the cutscenes and everything, but I never had a chance to go play it. The way people talk, it's like you can pick and choose what is canon and make it work.
Yeah.
Let's see. Five, well, 5 that really got me was where Snake has to go in an area
Mm-hmm.
and shoot all of his soldiers that are affected. Like just the
Yeah.
environment, the way the lighting was, and the camera work, and how they were shaking, but they picked themselves up off the salute boss.
Hmm.
And it's like, thank you for everything you've done. And the fact that you can heroism points or whatever in Metal Gear 5, you go into that section, and every time you shot soldiers, you lose it.
Hmm.
So Kojima was literally giving you a gameplay act of Snake becoming a demon or
Yeah.
becoming the hard big boss he was supposed to become. Now, I will say, like, I to this day, I stupid sharpnel sticking out of your forehead is stupid.
Hmm.
I didn't like it. It was so dumb. And the fact that the more evil you was, it would grow out of your head somehow.
Yeah.
I'm like, I understand metaphors and everything, but come on, man. Like, that's just dumb. Like, why are you doing that?
It's also too spot on.
Yeah. And then if you look, and then they even look at Snake from behind, his belt hangs off his back like a tail.
Oh.
So you got of a demon. And I'm like, Kojima, you don't have to shove things in our faces that hard times. You can leave it subtle. We get it. But that whole like section was just sad. And I love how it's realistic though, because once you kill, like
Mm.
you lose them on your team,
Yeah.
like you have to go find more soldiers or in your ranks or whatever, because they're all gone. And a lot of people did. I appreciate the twist at the end.
Mm.
I mean, people were like, it's just like writing all over again. I'm like, nah. I mean, it was showing that Big Boss was so focused on his philosophy, the boss's will, whatever. Like he was willing to go. I won't call it evil, his life,
Yeah.
and take it away from them and forge a whole fake life for his own fit. Like you have to because he was loyal. His was you get brainwashed and you go think you're somebody else. And then when you're told that you're just a body double, you can't escape it.
Mm-mm.
Big Boss is like, no, no, you're a big boss. You're gonna run outer heaven. I'm gonna run Zanzibar land. This is how it is. And it's like that's do someone is literally take away their livelihood
Mm-hmm.
and make them do whatever you want. Like in all shape and form, you've literally taken this man's life. And a lot of people read that ending when the audio's done, Venom punches the mirror
Yeah.
and walks away. And some people say that's him defining Big Boss and saying, I'm going to do things my own way. And other people are saying it's trapped
Mm-hmm.
and like he's literally become Big Boss now. Like there's no Medic or Venom left. He is Boss in every sense. But, well, can sometimes totally forget story beats and say whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact if you play Metal Gear 2, Big Boss has like a or whatever it is, he has like a metal
Mm-hmm.
because he talks about how he got burned alive or whatever. But then in 5, Venom has a farm, and when you find out Venom is the boss you fought in Outer Heaven, he actually connected story thread. So now you know why Big Boss was the way he was in Metal Gear or whatever, because it wasn't him, it was Venom. But overall, I did. I like the twist because it connects 5 with Metal Gear and explain how Big Boss was able to do so much as one person
Mm-hmm.
because he had Venom doing all this, and that was taking everyone's eyes off of him. But on the flip side, it didn't stop Big Boss Outer Heaven Boss. Like that was the cohesive thing. Then the Big Boss had nothing to do with Outer Heaven. That was all of it. Big Boss is all about Xanth. I'm like, why would you build this end goal was Outer Heaven? And then to find out he let his body take care of everything
Mm-hmm.
and build and fight Snake and everything just so he can go do Zanzibar land. I'm like, that don't track very well. It seems kind of dumb. And you kind of go against everything you just said. I mean, if anything, I would have made it Big Boss was Outer Heaven and Venom was Zanzibar land because you had to have a backup in case.
Yeah.
and then lost in Zanzibar land, then you'd be like, oh, it's not him, it's Venom. So the story would still make sense. You would put Big Boss in Outer Heaven, but the way Metal Gear Solid 5 shows it, Big Boss went on his own, left Ocelot to take care of Venom, and that's how Metal Gear 1 takes. And then, of course, all was a weird retread that Ocelot twice in his life brainwashed himself to believe things. I'm like, how many times are you gonna wreck yourself, dude? It's like, I don't understand. Like, why you putting yourself through all this shit for one man?
And I would say, like, how is your brain functioning?
Yeah, like, do you actually know who you are? Because
I wouldn't if this was done to me twice.
right. I mean, after the first time, he thought he was Troy Baker, you know.
Exactly. It wasn't Oxley, it was Troy.
Yeah. The second time, he thought he was Liquid Snake, so like he was never himself. But I did like the fact they showed why Miller was like all about solids and all about liquid, because Kaz was like, but in a way, if you look at the story beats of Metal Gear Solid 5, Kaz had it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of Peace Walker, he's like, oh yeah, I knew they were bad, but I did it for the money.
Mhm.
And Ryan Big Boss is like, well, I don't trust Trash Man. Like, you legit threw all this away so you could get some and have Dylan's with Cypher and everything. So I felt like in 5, that's why was on Big Boss's side and Kaz was left out of stuff, because why should we trust you? You had no problem betraying us and growing this outer heaven, and you had no problem admitting to it, and they expect us to be friends and soul terms or whatever. But then to go from the way 5 to how he is in Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear, well, not Metal Gear Solid because it was liquid, but you know what, like, but how I said story threads when you're playing Metal Gear 2, there's one line of dialogue where Snake asks Miller, like, was it you false? And Miller says, that man's nothing but a moth that needs to be destroyed. So you could connect that when he realized what he was doing with the medic and everything, and realized he didn't care who he destroyed to get his dream accomplished. So that's what I like. He takes the effort to connect things and make sense. So that be anything. It could be like just one line dialogue. But it's like, oh, so that's why Miller says that, because of 5. But on the other hand,
that seems to be the answer. If it wasn't Men and Machines, it was Parasites.
Right.
Like, something always fueled something for an air.
Yeah.
But for the Phantom Pain, oh man, this is like, this game like hit it like, it's like, it was terrifying because a man who had identity, and I did, he was the, and then they took the loyal who's so for being a man who put his own life on the line to become someone that you idolized. The reward was that not only did they repair you the best they could, but strip you of everything you ever were. It's the most terrifying notion, I would think, like, that you can do to another. And when you get to that, it's like, holy shit. Yeah, like you said before, it's differently. Like, he smashed a mirror because Defiant, or for whatever reason was. I thought maybe because he smashed the mirror because he's gonna just go with it. He's just gonna go for it. There's no turning back. Like, what's he gonna do? Leave with the face of the man he's supposed to be? Like, where's he gonna run off to? Like, hype, basically propping up the legend. And probably like one of the many why we hear like so many stories about Big Boss and what he accomplished was possibly by the hands of also Venom himself. But for this, I would say, I'm trying to remember because I don't name the place. It's where the mission you were going, where you're going to find out like where all the people were missing, like where did they end up going? And it was, I think you were told like it was like a makeshift hospital, and then just seeing like all like the horror and the things is capable of.
Yeah,
And
like the chest being exposed and all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and the blood on the floor. And then when you go in there, like some of the bodies were like twitching, and I'm probably because like they just recently died, so like the nervous ends are like dying off. So like they're firing off, and like it's the most eerie, creepiest, scariest setting for
And
this.
there's like the background.
It's even more like
Yeah.
disturbing. It's like why is there no sound? It's like in this like place where it's like I'm thinking to myself first, like, shouldn't be wearing a mask.
Right. And not going there at all. Like,
Yeah. And then when he touches the boy's chest, and it's like you can see like the oozing, and I was
yeah, at least sticks to his fingers.
like,
It's like,
man.
oh.
And it's even worse. Like it depends like what arm you equip. I had like I think it was like the first like the stun arm, which it looked like the fingertips were like almost like needle.
Ooh.
So like to see that
They really poke
cutscene,
chest.
oh yeah, like just leave the arm there and go.
Like, like you can't clean that. Like
No
leave
way.
it, attach it.
Yeah, and then like being seeing again face and kind of like using his not new like a muscle from the past or like coming after you, and it feels like a horror movie, the whole entire part. It
And I
feels
hope he's insane in the hospital the
oh
first time you play through it.
yeah.
I'm like, what am I playing right now? Because this is not like a Metal Gear game. This is like these people are gonna kill me. And this dude's on fire. This guy through the ceiling. And I'm like,
Yep. And I was gonna say, and Quad doesn't have a place to land because the man on fire is like going nuts.
yeah,
And it's like, man, I was like that, like that from that I thought like, oh, how this game's gonna be from the rest to the end. It's like it's just gonna be like sort of like a horror thing. And for some odd reason, I would always like double check and make sure like, oh, is that a sandstorm or is that a mist? Like I would for some odd reason think like I'm gonna be hunted down while I'm out and about in either region.
right.
And I
It,
feel like a miss. I was like, you could have done that. Like, yes, you could have been hunted down as you're going through your missions.
yeah, you can see the skulls, distance or something. The only downside I would say to that kind of stuff
Yeah.
was when you start a mission, it would say like guest starring
Uh,
Starface.
yeah.
I'm like, why you gotta ruin it? Now we know something's gonna happen with this character, or these bad guys are gonna show up.
Hmm.
So it's like that kind of takes away the thrill or whatever. But like horror aspects, one of the worst tapes to listen to once you found it was when Hugh walks Strangelove
Oh
in
yeah.
the AI pod, and she's literally talking to
Hmm.
herself, but she's like trying to talk. She's literally dying
Hmm.
as she talks. I was like, that is like the most realistic, horrific way to die is just by suffocating. And the
Hmm.
fact that your husband in there because he got mad, the son
Hmm.
to control a freaking bipedal nuclear weapon.
Yeah, exactly. That that tape alone, like
Yeah,
listening to your headphones, don't let other people in the room hear it because then you
yeah.
gotta explain like, oh, I'll tell you what's happening.
Video games, you know. So it's not Mario. But going back to something you
Mm,
mentioned too was about the medic being loyal or whatever, and in a sad way
mm,
of it, it's like once he knows the truth, this man is so loyal that he would still go through with what they had planned, even though they took away his identity, his life, gave him surgery and everything. He's like, hey, I'm going to do this because I believe in this much.
mm.
And in a way that's really sad, and it's also scary that someone could make you believe in something so much in literally every aspect of life for this one man.
Yeah.
You're willing to go to the hell just for what this guy believes in. And that's a really dark something or it takes somebody, I would say, in general. But like I say, storytelling,
Oh yeah.
or you could just say he's a crazy asshole or whatever. But man, after 3 hours, which I think I said during our conference, that I could go 3 hours talking about Metal Gear.
Hmm.
We actually accomplished it.
I would say yeah.
And I still have another 3 hours. Throat wasn't getting sore and my leg getting sore from sitting here for so long.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was gonna say like we're gonna have to like come back and more discussions.
I could, like I said, on structure things.
Mm.
I can break down each game, play through each game. Could talk about the dumbest things in Metal Gear. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you could talk about with a series like this. But I'm extremely grateful to have me on because, like I said, not a lot of friends I have, and not in real life per se, but face to face, I can talk about games like this. So to have a community and to have friends like you that I can talk to for hours on it, not be bored by it and not be judged by it,
Mm.
goes a long way for me.
And I've had, given the opportunity to like sit down and hear you talk about the series in general. It's just for me, it's refreshing to hear like everyone and how they interpret how they enjoyed like these games.
Because I like to think if I have one way something, I
Mm.
could totally give another perspective, even though I don't agree with it. I could see why someone would think this way.
Mm.
Like say the boss, quick like one off. Like the boss is an amazing character. You can break her down and everything she's done. On the flip side, you can say it's a cliche. Oh no, the mentor betrayed the trainer, and now he's a killer, and she did it for him and the country, and blah blah blah. Whatever. It's stupid. It's been done before. But yes, it's been done before. On how you present the story that makes it unique.
Yeah.
Because I always remember, I can't remember all of it, but there's this thing where a guy said that there's only 5 stories when it comes to making a movie, making a game, whatever. There's only 5 core stories you can tell. Point is how you tell it. If I could look it up, I'll send you. Like, you have the hero that back up saves the. You have a hero that's betrayed and wins in the end, and 3 more. But yeah, the guy's every single movie to this structure.
Hmm.
He's like, if you look at it from this point of view, no matter what movie you look at, no matter what it's about, clearly take away all the padding and everything, it's going to be one of these story beats. But it's all how you add of it that makes it unique, and that's up to you, the creator, to make that imprint. To have someone at it and be like, okay, this is not like this movie, or it's not like that video game. This is like a unique thing that feels different from everything else. And I feel Kojima was able to do that with the Metal Gears because there's nothing really out there that's like Metal Gear when it's all said and done. The characters are unique. The story, once you put all the pattern, all the lore, and all the beats and everything, there's no other story that plays out like Metal Gear does. Now you can say video games.
Hmm.
But you can say that about a lot of battle royale games are there now. How many
Yeah.
open world games is there now? How many shooters are there now that have all the same hide behind the wall, get to their zone before you die from gas or from a storm, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Kojima, for the most part, was able to take a big story structure and build on so much that it's a game that will be remembered for years and decades to come. Like it has.
Oh
It's
yeah.
2022, and
Hmm.
Metal Gear 1 came out in what, 1987?
Yes.
So yeah, 35 years, and people
Hmm.
about Solid Snake in Outer Heaven to save your soul. You can't talk bad about the sands of time.
Not really. Not really. You could only hope that it's more.
Right? Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Get away from people because of copyrights for music.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like,
Or was it historic?
I think it was just
Yeah.
it probably was music as well. Like I can only imagine what else.
But don't tell me you couldn't update the copyrights on that crap. Like you're just being buttholes.
Someone is doing didn't do something, or someone's waiting. That's what I was thinking. They're waiting.
Yeah, you can go with that. Makes us sleep better at night that they're waiting till they do a remake or whatever, and then we'll put the copyrights on it.
There you go.
I mean, come on, if you don't remember when it first got taken down from the PlayStation Store and Xbox Store, everyone's like, "Oh, it's because the remake's coming. They gotta take down the original." It's like no one said that.
No one's exactly.
Like just stop.
Or I was gonna say, are all the other old games taken down
Yeah.
when the remakes came up?
Like I'm pretty sure you can play Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Remake at the same time if you want.
Yeah.
Like one didn't get taken down a week before the new one came out. It's still over there. I still own it. Yeah, and at least I think I've scanned for
today.
Yeah, for the day at least.
No, which is good. It's like let it all out there. Let people hear it.
Yeah.
Let them hear the story of Retro Game Nerd. I was gonna say, where can the people reach you, Retro? Where can they reach you?
On Twitter, because you can't spell a whole name out.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid you put your actual name in there. Give a 120 word count or whatever, but no, don't let us write name out. It's a game in, no G, retro nerd for retro gaming. My bad, gaming, GAMIN, nerd for Twitter. Twitch is retro. I was super surprised that name was not taken.
Yeah, I know, for Twitch especially.
Yeah, so I mean on Twitch it's just retro gaming nerd. YouTube, same thing, retro gaming. I don't have a lot up there yet. I'm working on it, but I am going through the Metal Gear Solid 3 game right now. No commentary, unfortunately. Stuff I can't control. At least the gameplay's there. And the Discord, I can't never, but I can throw it on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, I'll have all this stuff on the show notes as well. I'll put all the links up as well because I can never remember for Discord as well.
Yeah, but it is a great place. Like everyone's welcome with open arms. We have great discussions in there.
Yeah, I say super cool, super neat.
Yeah, that's all aspects of my online social life. I don't do Instagram, all that crap. I try to keep it as simple as I can.
So, Retro, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been both a pleasure and a treat to basically have a rundown, a quick rundown,
right,
of the Metal Gear series. But I was gonna say we'll definitely do it again, and we'll be occasions, as I say.
Well, like I said, it was my pleasure. I'm great that people would like to hear my input of one of my favorite game series of all time, and whether you like it or not, I guess I have plenty more to say.
Hey,
so
I will take it. Take it. I'm gonna say not bug you, but like I'm definitely gonna.
Oh, you can hound me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't be a fox about it.
That's a good way to end this episode.